this morning, with the epicenter near the town of Sundergü.
Around a dozen buildings collapsed, and tremors were felt up to 200 kilometers away in Istanbul.
Demonstrators marched through central London, demanding the unconditional release of Israeli hostages held by Hamas since October 7, 2023. Joseph Eckerson with the latest.
About 50 hostages remain captive, with approximately 20 believed to be alive.
As a planned summit between President Trump and President Putin approaches, Russia and Ukraine remain at odds over war terms.
Russia continues to insist on recognition of its annexed territories, demands Ukrainian troop withdrawal, and opposes NATO expansion.
A shooter opened fire near the CDC headquarters in Atlanta on Friday, killing DeKalb County police officer David Rose before taking his own life.
The suspect reportedly blamed the COVID-19 vaccine for his depression and suicidal thoughts.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
I don't know. I know I need media asset. Everything is
damn good coffee and hot.
Oh, wait, I gotta do things now.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
I wish I made you laugh. Pretty depressed myself. Maybe it's COVID-19. COVID-19 is causing my depression. I guess I'll go over. I'm not going to do that. Coffee. I thought that was the last bomb. There's probably one more bomb. Good morning, folks. It's your favorite day of the week, Monday. Wake up! Monday, August 11th, 2025. Go to work, slave away, come home, and you still got 4 more days of drudgery. You know what? It sucks to be you. That's all I can say. We don't have a guest for you again today. It's just one of those weeks. Well, the most boring show ever. I'd like to say there's a lot to talk about here today. Truth is, there's not much to talk about. It's the same old shit to talk about every day. Except today, the dick that we always talk about quite often on this program will be... I don't want to say initializing martial law, but he will be having thugs roaming the streets of D.C. to clean up, put all them homeless people in jail. Okay, you're gonna put them all in jail. Well, look up The Night of Long Knives. If I were Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene, I would be sweating my balls off. And I know Marjorie Taylor Greene has been trying to sweat her balls off for a while. They just don't come off. Apparently, they are glued on. But first of all, people are acting shocked or surprised that this is happening. Because a guy named Big Balls, a kid named Big Balls, got beat up in Washington, D.C. He was a Doge guy. According to him, he tried to break up an assault and ended up getting fucked up. I've been there. And that is the reason Trump is using to bring federal FBI to clean up D.C. Eventually, National Guard will be brought in. This was all written about in 2020 in Project 2025. You shouldn't be surprised. The big balls kid getting beat up is just an excuse. When you look up the Night of Long Knives, you can see this is Hitler's playbook. And you know what? Here's the deal. Sorry, GD. I'm going to borrow that for a second. MAGA really hates being compared to the Nazis. Don't compare us to the Nazis. And if you ask them, were the Nazis bad? You won't get an immediate, yeah, Nazis were bad out of them. You won't. They just, the normal response, hell yeah, of course the Nazis were bad. No, they don't. Well, you know, Hitler wasn't all bad. He was good for, wait a minute. No, the answer is yes, the Nazis were bad. So if you think that Hitler wasn't a bad guy and the Nazis weren't all wrong, why are you so concerned about being compared to the Nazis? The fact is, you're upset about being compared to Nazis because you know Nazis were bad. But now, let's go a little further and say, why were Nazis bad? What did they do that made them bad? Oh, it kind of lines up with the stuff that you are doing. Didn't see that coming, did you? So now, the logical conclusion, Nazis were bad. We're doing the same thing that Nazis were doing. One more step. You're bad. You're bad. Bad. You're very bad. Very bad people. I know I'm scaring people away with this already. Hey, I'm in a mood. One more week with next week we got guests piled up. This week, not so much. I don't know. Maybe I should take a vacation this week. I woke up with I heard this story last night. It was a very depressing story about. I'm gonna infect you with my depression with this story. Okay. There's a state park, Belmont Lake State Park. It's a beautiful lake. You rent a boat, paddle boats. You go out with the family. Young family went there for a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Brought their 2-year-old child. 2-year-old got away from mom or something. Was running in the parking lot. Got hit by a car and killed. Oof. I mean, it doesn't get any more depressing than that. Now, the mother is going to be devastated beyond grief, beyond guilt, and all that stuff. The driver of the car is going to be blamed and guilty to no end. The heartache, heartbreak, and depression that goes with that story, it's never going to end. You know what? And my heart goes out to him. But that's one of the things where it makes you question, like, these people who are religious and believe, this is your God allowed this to happen. I mean, who deserves that kind of pain? Who? And people are quick to, the mother, what kind of mother lets a kid, if you ever had a 2-year-old, they can get away from you. They can get away and they can go running. And it just takes a couple of steps in a parking lot, guys going a little bit too fast or whatever in the parking lot, whatever. Forget about the blame. There's a tragedy in that story that is just, oh my God. And so I'm talking about it here to try and alleviate myself from some of this really dark weight of that story. And so I started talking about Trump, which makes me feel better to talk about what a fucking Nazi we got. That's all I got for you today. So I said, I wish we had a lot to talk about today. I wish I could say we had a lot to talk about. We don't have a lot to talk about. I could talk about Marin, because Marin is still making it. And people have drawn up clips all over the place where, here's one more thing that I want to talk about before I say hello to GD here this morning. Marin is very much correct, when he talks about what comedy has become. Comedy has become, and he didn't put it in these words. I'm going to put it in these words. Comedy has become like pop music. You know how on pop radio, if there is such a thing anymore, every song sounds the same. It's all the same chord progression. It's all the same beat. Just change the lyrics and the melody slightly, and it's the same song over and over, repackaged. That's what we're getting in comedy. Now, Maron blames Rogan and the Austin tribe. I'm not sure. I just feel like this is a Netflix is a joke thing. This is the Kill Tony residual. And I'm not blaming any of these outlets, platforms, whatever you want to call them. But when you get cattle calls, when you get people seeing what wins, what gets you attention, people are going to copy that in the arts. And we've seen this. This is how pop music kind of got to where it is right now. What's selling records? What's selling out stadiums? Oh, that is? We'll just do that. And so you get a lot of these comedians. Now, Maron labels them as anti-woke comedians. And I have to agree that that's what they label themselves as. But they seem to be buying this line about woke, what woke means. And who the fuck am I to tell you what woke means? But I can tell you what it doesn't mean. Joe Rogan was talking about the Democrats are a cult. Okay. Not too much projection. Not too much projection. Just a little. A lot. A little projection. But okay. But he says Democrats want men with beards in ladies' bathrooms. Oh, my God. I know a lot of Democrats, and I don't know a lot of them personally, but I talk to them online. I see them on Twitter. I see them on Facebook. I have never seen one Democrat, liberal, progressive, say we want men in ladies' bathrooms, bearded men. The trans issue with bathrooms, the obsession with where people take a piss and a shit is mind-boggling. First of all, I don't know if you've ever been in a ladies' room. Confession, I have. Hey, I was a janitor at one point in my life. I was cleaning a lady. It happens. Men go into ladies' rooms, but it wasn't like what you think. But they don't have urinals, so you can't like look down and see. They have stalls, and believe it or not, the stalls have latches on them. So if you're on the outside, you can't get in. To know that somebody's got a dick, you got to look. You got to really work hard. You got to go under the door, over the. I mean, how is this your problem? Somebody is inside a stall. And I'm not saying. Yeah, and how many people get raped in public places? I would be interested in finding these statistics out. You're safe in a public place, generally, because rapists don't want to get caught. They're not going to go into ladies' rooms to rape people, even if you think that trans people are rapists. I became a woman so I can rape women. That's fucking crazy. But if you believe that, they're not going to, just start raping people in public places, not knowing who could walk in next and rat them out, scream, whatever. They're going to hide in the parking lot, or going to hide in wherever in dark alleys. This idea that Democrats want men in ladies' rooms, it's just bizarre. But that's how they're labeling woke. And this is what Rogan called it. These woke people are crazy. They want men in ladies' bathrooms. Joe, stop watching Fox News. Stop watching Newsmax. Really. And all these fucking people, I'm serious now. You're getting brainwashed by people who are telling you that's what liberals, just like they're telling you liberals were upset about Sydney Sweeney. Again, I don't have a lot of friends in this world, but the people I follow on social media, a lot of them are on the left. I never saw one of them complaining about Sydney Sweeney. None of them. You know who I heard talk about Sydney Sweeney? Jesse Waters. I don't know what happened to Hannity. He's been quiet lately, but Laura Ingraham. All these, that's who's complaining about this and labeling it as woke. And the left is just, we'll accept that. That's woke. No, that's not what woke meant. My definition of woke comes back to, I don't know if this is biblical. I don't know if Jesus said this. I don't know who to do unto others. The golden rule, the issue with the trans bathroom stuff. Oh, my God. You know what? The solutions are very simple. Either you make it one person in a bathroom at a time and they can lock it, and then it's all unisex. Nobody gives a fuck. Maybe you mind your own business. What is your solution? You want to have a fucking guard check at the door to the bathroom? Pull down your pants and let me see if you got a vagina or a cock. That's what you want? You want the cock police? Cock police. I might be onto something there. The cock police. Anyway, am I getting myself worked up? I probably am. You know why? Because I haven't had a good dose. If any day I felt like wake and bake, today is the day I feel like wake and bake. I might just do it. Talk me off the ledge, if you will. We'll be back in a second and say hello to GD, and he'll just tell me, you know what? You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
With humble East Coast beginnings in 2015, Daily High Club is the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and consumption accessories. If you're looking to elevate your smoking game to the next level, you're in the right place. With over 1 million top-quality smoking products sold, and with a growing base of over 10,000 monthly subscribers worldwide, we deliver the ultimate smoking experience. But Daily High Club is not just a retailer, we're lovers of the smoking scene ourselves, working with giants like Tommy Chong, Snoop Dogg, Chanel West Coast, and more. Ready to join the Daily High Club? Let our experts curate your collection with our awesome El Primo monthly subscription box, or grab one of our fun and unique pieces from our smoke shop. Click the link in the description below this video to get this party started now.
I don't want to, I just want to wake and bake. Ladies and gentlemen, in the room with me now are the man who always celebrates martial law in the capital city, the man who loves to be a cock. He's growing up, his ambition was to be a cop, a cop police. GD finished. Good morning.
Good morning, America. I don't have a cup to hold. Shit. Okay, Here we go. Good morning, America.
Want to hold my cup?
Shall hold your cup.
I'll turn my head.
Good morning, America. MyDogTV.com. We have no guest today, so your chat matters. All live chats matter. It doesn't matter if your chat is just chatter about another matter. Your chat matters. All chat matters. MyDogTV.com. So put your local mercenaries and enjoy the suffering.
So yeah, that's nice. Crack the sky, eh? You went to crack the sky? Is that what you did? You went to crack the sky. You went to crack the sky.
Yes, I did.
And did it crack? You're still working on it.
There were a lot of crackers there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there. When we were leaving, at the end they had a meet and greet, and so I'm standing at the matter of fact, I was the second person in line at the meet and greet. And I was talking to the bass player because they weren't going to start the meet and greet until all the members got there. So I was talking to the bass player, then the lead singer showed up, and the other four were still taking pictures at the stage. You know, they had people come up to the stage and they took selfies with them. And while I was in line, this other black guy walked by and we gave each other the nod. And so my wife and I were talking in the parking lot, and we were just talking about the things. And she was saying how the band members all seemed to know me. They didn't, but it's just that I was the only black guy there. She says, well, it was easy for you to be like the only black guy there. I said, no, there was another one. Did you think we weren't going to find each other? And we did.
They're all the good people.
All the good black people.
No, all the good people in the band get to hit on the white chicks and the young girls that come to and the bass player gets assigned the black guys. And
the lead singer. But here's the deal. Now, I don't know when this is going to occur because I talked with the band. They were all down for doing an interview. The problem is scheduling and seeing it. You know, I'd be happy with just the two or three original members that are still there to for the interview, that's fine by me. But if all 6 can do it, that's fine as well. They were down with the interview, and so they hooked me up with their manager. And so the manager and I talked for about 15, 20 minutes. We exchanged phone numbers. So we have each other's contact, and he said for me to give him 3 days because they have like another couple more gigs, and then they have to decompress, and then for me to reach out to him, and we can trust. And I gave him the website. I said, you can book yourself at your convenience. And I gave him the website. I said, if you have any trouble at all with the website, just call me. And this is my number, so he has my number. I have his number.
Look at you! You're dating a manager of a band that only now was it sold out? Was it packed?
I don't know the answer to that because it was an open field. What they did was apparently the venue that I was used to seeing, the one that I was trying to perform in, because I thought it was a small venue, they had a fake wall there, and if you move the fake wall, it's just like acres and acres and acres of land. And so they moved the fake wall, and you were allowed to bring your own chairs. So I don't know how you sell that out.
Yeah, but look, can you take like a 10,000 people there? Were there 5,000 people there?
Oh no! It was probably maybe, I'm gonna just guess because of the cars I saw in the parking lot, maybe 400 people, 500 people.
Ooh, that hurts. Ow. That hurts. Did you see how that hurt? Maybe it's just I'm a fat bastard.
And I'm just saying I don't know that because I don't like Carol and I, you can see all the cars, and like Carol and I'm just assuming there were like 2 people per car.
Yeah, but you couldn't mistake, let's just say 400, 500, 600, 700 people. You couldn't mistake that for 15,000 people. There's no.
Oh no, and that would be ridiculous for them to try to do that because the hill goes like this after a while the land goes down. If you put like 15,000 people, they're going to be sitting like that, and they're going to be staring at.
Well, the reason I even brought up that number, like 15,000, 10, because Long Island and all towns have summer concert events. When they talk about summer concert events, it's tribute bands. It's not even mostly. I mean, every once in a while they get the real band, a has-been band, but those in parks around here, they will do 15,000 people, 20,000 people easy in these parks where it's a tribute band. It's not even a real band, a successful, a name band. It's a copy of a name band, but they pack it out with like 15,000 people all the time for these free. And this wasn't free, right? You had to pay.
Right, you paid, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that makes a difference. But yeah, I mean,
it does make a difference. And also, the people that showed up here were fans of the band. I don't think there's anybody there that just okay. I take that back. I was about to say something I'd have to correct. Carol is not like a fan of Crack the Sky. She'd never heard of them until we started swapping bodily fluids. So, yeah, that's the price you pay. If you swap bodily fluids with me, you're going to hear about Crack the Sky. So,
gosh, don't.
It's a high price. It's a high price to pay.
Don't spit on me. Yeah. So, but yeah, that absolutely makes a difference, and the free stuff, but here, because the band is getting paid by the ticket prices. Here, those bands get paid by the town. My wife asked me about this. Like, how do these bands get paid for this? And the town pays it. It comes out of like a town cultural arts budget or some bullshit like that.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
It was good. They were celebrating the 50th anniversary of the band. I guess the 50th anniversary of their first album. And so they did the first album from, start to finish with just a couple of tweaky things in the middle. Like, how some songs have like similar chord progressions to other songs, even though the song itself is not, totally different. But you can hear something is like, okay, that reminds me of this. There's one of those songs.
Whoever's arranging the band said this would be a good segue,
and that's what they did. They did like a small thing during one of their solos to Rush, I think, just for a little Rush thing for a little bit. And to be honest, my least favorite part. Now, I enjoyed the concert, but I'm starting to figure out that my least favorite part of concerts are the guitar solos. Now, I'm a guitarist. I'm a guitarist, and I've had my even back when I was like playing the guitar solo, and they do like, let's do this. We'll introduce the band. So and so on guitar. Here's so and so on bass. So and so on. Yeah, I don't. I can understand that. You make it like 30 seconds or so, but to go on for like 5, 6, 7 fucking minutes, there's like, because quite often, and I learned this about myself, which is why I stopped doing it. When I play a guitar solo in a song, there is a purpose. It ties into the song. But then when I'm doing just a guitar solo, I may start off with something melodic, and I may finish with something melodic, but somewhere in the middle, I'm just fucking showing you how many notes I know, how many chords I know, how fast my fingers can move, a technique that nobody's doing right now, how many pedals I can turn on at once before it blows up my amplifier. And it is almost all of them. If I turn on all my pedals, my amp, I had a tube amp. You'd have to reset it.
Well, this is a point I made not too long ago on Facebook, I think it was, and then I got a whole lot of like pushback from guitar players. I just said, you know what? I get to the point. I think the idea that I think it started in the late 50s, early 60s, where every fucking pop song needed a guitar solo. Here, breaking. This is what I wrote. Breaking news: guitar solos suck, all of them. They're the least imaginative way for the singer to catch his or her breath. That's basically what it became. Then somebody who is a great guitar player, Russ DeSalvo, who is a former he's still a writer and producer, produced stuff for people like Paul McCartney, Celine Dion. He said to me, Jay Graydon's solo on Peg with Steely Dan is inseparable from the song and considered one of the greatest musical solos ever. Something like 20 players were brought in by Becker and Fagen, and the legend has it his was a one-take solo. So there you go. Yeah, I know I said all of them suck.
Yeah, and I don't, and again, as like some songs, there's a guitar solo that makes a difference or adds something. But I know as a songwriter, I've written many songs with no guitar solos. Yeah. And I'll have a bridge. I'll have all the parts that you need to have, quote, need to have, unquote. I'll have the bridge and the refrain and shit like that. And then there's songs I wrote on purpose where, I had a refrain, but it's not going to go where the refrain goes. I'll have a solo, but it's not a guitar solo. It's actually a vocalist solo, something like that.
I think the weed heads of the 70s, which I was one, got like so into like these fucking long solos. You were talking about when they just go on and on. Like Southern rock definitely just encouraged that. Yeah, let's take a 7-minute fucking solo over 4 verses or whatever. It's just like, oh my God, no wonder I fucking hate guitar. We ruined it. You ruined it.
So that was my least favorite part. They did 2 of those, and that's my least favorite part. And again, it's because even they did their little, like the bass player had his like 30-second thing, the drummer had his 30-second thing, and then the dueling guitars where they weren't dueling, they were just copying each other, and then they wind up playing the same thing faster and fast. And they did it twice, where they wind up playing this at the end of the first one and the end of the second one, and these are like 15 minutes apart. They wind up playing the same 4 notes at the very end, just faster and faster and faster and faster until as fast as they can play, and then the band comes back in, or not comes back in, but they go back to the song.
Wow.
I mean, they were having fun. The guitarists were having fun, but for me, I'm a guitarist, and I'm watching.
Sitar is a fucking annoying instrument.
Oh no, I love sitar. I love sitar. Yeah,
I had one here. A kid who was a fucking prodigy. His father brought him here to edit his video. He playing with one of these big timbali players. Indian music. I'm not big on it, and it's in weird time signatures and like, yeah, whatever. But it's microtones and stuff. I hate it. It's like, stick to the fucking tones, the 12 tones that we know, the whole tones, and stop with these fucking microtones and stuff.
See, and that's what I love, and that's what I love about the sitar is the fact that it's just, you're just so free. You're just fucking free. It's like whatever you hear in your head, that's where you can take it. That's why I wanted to build my own guitar, and the first 24 frets would be frets, but everything above the 24th fret would be fretless, so that I could do the guitar solos that I hear in my head. Just totally free and sliding and just finding what, I don't know if you do this, Matt. I don't know if you've
fair enough, as long as the other guys in the band can shoot you and kill you when you start to do that. That would be, I think that's fair.
Well, I'm not saying if the band is playing, let's say, in the key of A flat, that I would start picking notes to ride that was, let's say, A flat and a half. No.
Well, that's what sitar is all about.
But I would use them as passing notes.
Still deserve to be shot.
And also, like when people do play, like end the quarter, like try to end the song on a major seventh, and then you have to resolve it. That's how I see the sitar, creating situations that create tension that have to be resolved. I just love the sitar. I hear it in my head so well and so clearly and so succinctly that I think I should have been a sitar player.
That's a mental disorder. There's medication for that.
You take 2 sitars and call me in the morning.
All right.
Sitari, the new pill.
Now, I did put ads in for musicians to be on the program, and the surprising, people who not musicians, people who don't ever fucking play a gig in their life. They have a tour calendar on their website that doesn't have any past dates or future dates on it, but they call themselves a musician. And they scoff at the opportunity to be on this program. Oh, I don't need that. I'm a whatever. I didn't. This wasn't directed. It wasn't a personal invitation just to you, Mr. Nobody. It was for musicians who have gigs to promote this week if they wanted to come on. But I want to transition to comedy. Do you agree with the premise that stand-up comedy has become like pop music? And I'll bring up the analogy that pop music is all the same chord progressions, same beats, auto-tuned, all to sound alike. Like you can't tell the difference between Katy Perry and Ariana Grande. Or I'm not just pulling names down. Taylor Swift, all these people. They're all trying to sound the same because there's guaranteed money. There's proven track record money in sounding like that. So let's go that way. And I think a lot of comedians are. Let's go with the trend.
Well, I think young comedians have always done that anyway. And it wasn't even necessarily for the money. It's because when you're a young comedian, you don't know any better. So you emulate somebody else who is popular. So that's not about money, because most comedians aren't making money. They're just trying to find their voice in the beginning. Now,
I think he's talking about, Marin was talking about the Austin scene where all these people who are playing those same, the Mothership, and they are still going to the Comedy Store, but Zanies and all these places, there's a small group of popular comedians right now. They all seem to be like, you have to go mandatory trans jokes, you have to go mandatory anti-woke jokes and all this kind of stuff.
Now, is that the comedians doing that, or is it like, for example, there are places that I can't get booked because of what I do. I just don't fall into those categories. And so people out there aren't going to see something different because the management says this sells and they don't show anything else. And so Now, if I want to be in that club, I could. No, maybe I don't know if I maybe too late now for me to. It was too late. I'm not doing it anyway. I'm not going to change just for those fucks. But a younger comedian might go, well, they want more of this. I can do that, or I'll do that. That's not my voice. I already have a voice, and I'm not going to change it just for those fucks.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a push-pull situation where a young person who's trying to find his voice but also wants to be popular and liked is being pulled in that direction, saying, well, if you want to be popular, if you want to be part of the club, if you want to be part of the clique, you have to do this.
The clique, the tribalism, that definitely is a thing. And that's what Austin is about. Now, I saw a comedian who might be on the show. She reached out and she's doing things ass backwards. She was brought up and raised in Austin, Texas, just moved to LA. I was like, maybe you didn't get the memo, but the trend is the other. And I think that's a smart thing to do. Buck the trend and do the opposite.
Right.
I'm not sure if it's going to be necessarily equal to success. It's all content and is she funny? But I think if I were a comedian, I would probably do the same thing. If born and raised in Austin, all these comedians are moving in. Well, there must be opportunity where they left, right? There must be plenty of rooms open in California because of all these people coming out here.
Yeah, I would think so. But now this is slightly different. So I'm just putting this out there before I forget. Sunshine wants to know if either of us had seen on CBS Sunday Morning they interviewed Cheech and Chong. I didn't see it. I didn't know if you. Well, you don't watch television anyway.
Yeah, I don't have television to watch.
Yeah, you don't watch television, so I'm just just for the record, Sunshine. If you're ever asking if somebody saw something on television, you don't have to ask Matt. He didn't see it on television.
Yeah, if Ron was here, he would say, "Oh yeah, I saw that, and it's not bad."
Which means it was the best ever.
Right.
I have a real friend, not Ron, a real friend of mine. No, that's the running joke forever was if he said, yeah, that was okay. That was like a rave review.
Yeah.
Because everything was just is. And
Big Beautiful Bill is trying to say I'm old. I don't watch the talkies. I like you know what, The Jazz Singer, 1929. That wasn't a bad film. Whatever.
And we know Matt has seen The Godfather once or twice.
The Godfather. Is that
that was that movie about a wedding that lasted two fucking yeah. Yeah, that was a movie about a wedding and about 3 hours too long.
It really wasn't about a wedding, but Carlo, the guy who was marrying the Don's daughter, Johnny. What the hell is Gianni Russo? He's a friend of mine on Facebook. I don't like him. Nobody likes him.
I got a friend suggestion. Robert Wall.
Robert Wall, yeah.
I didn't know if that was like the real Robert Wall or not. Now, it's a suggestion, and I don't know if they sent him a suggestion also saying
no, because I friended him the other day. Now, I think it is the real Robert Wall because we have a common friend, John Pavaramo. He's been on Pavaramo's podcast a number of times. I've been in communication with him, asking him to come on this program, and so far I've been striking out. But I think it is the real Robert Wall. I think the reason you got a friend suggestion when somebody you know adds them as a friend, they automatically say, "Oh,
yeah." Apparently, we have like 46 mutual friends.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I think that's the real Robert Wall. I don't think he's doing any of this stuff.
Well, I just I didn't respond because when I get a friend suggestion, I don't know if they're suggesting me to them as well, especially somebody who's not famous. You know, like they said. You may know Matt Napo. Then I don't know if they send you the same suggestion. Matt, you may know GD. You know, I don't know. So I always wait to see if the other person reaches out to me.
More and more fake celebrities are on Facebook. I mean, every day I'm seeing like all these people which have no reason to be on Facebook. I mean, you know they're fake, right? And when you see somebody, Billy Joel with no friends, come on. I mean, who's falling for that nonsense? No friends.
Have you by chance seen a document? Well, I don't know if it's a documentary or what. It's there's a show on HBO about Billy Joel.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I forgot what it's called. I haven't seen it. I didn't watch it.
His daughter produced that. It is a document. It's a memoir kind of documentary.
Okay.
Because he's sick right now. He's got some kind of brain disease or something. But
I think it's called Long Island.
Just living on Long Island is definitely
yeah, I think living too close to that nuclear plant has probably just taken its toll.
Oh, not every place is close to the nuclear plant, by the way. It's a Long Island, Long Island. But Cold Spring Harbor, which is Billy Joel, where he kind of grew up, doing a paint party there tomorrow. And we talked about this last week, the bunny thing. And you were saying, well, it doesn't seem that hard. And now, again, the idea of teaching it to first-timers, people who've never held a brush. But one thing that I did not, or two things I did not explain to you about why that is difficult.
Right.
Here are your tools. You get two brushes.
Right, a thick brush and a little brush. Yeah, you told me that, right?
Yeah, and you get red, yellow, and blue are the colors to make all those colors in the rabbit. All those golden hairs and brown.
Oh, yeah, that's hard to teach.
Yeah, and they
can. Matter of fact, it's hard to learn yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the hardest thing for me is mixing colors, but they frown upon buying pre-mixed colors. Now, I don't think that's cheating. I think that there's a reason stores sell all these different colors in case you want to, and even like classical oil painters will do that now. You don't just go out and buy the primary colors. You get some 4 different yellows or, whatever.
Now, money was an object back when I used to paint. Okay. Yeah, I know there are people like money was no object. No, money was an object. It was an obstruction, as a matter of fact. It was an object in my way. But when I used to paint, I probably bought, I think, 9 colors. I had the primaries and black and white, and then some colors that were just freaky to try to mix, like gold. You can't really make a gold. Or if you can, I don't know the technique to make gold.
It's difficult. That's why
I know it's like yellow. I think you start off with yellow and maybe a tint of red. I can see there's some colors I can see. I can look at because my father had that thing where he could. My father was a professional dyer. Before they had computers to match dye lots, my father would match the dyes so that all the shirts would come out the same. And so and he had very good, I guess those are the cones that do the color. More than Mr. Koff.
Mr.? You say Mr.?
Mr. Koff, yeah.
Man has stars on his lapel. You don't call him Mr.
I thought they were spaghetti stains. I'm sorry.
Oh, he doesn't like when I call him Colonel or General or King or dictator or world leader or whatever. The great heroic superhero.
Well, I don't know Mr. Koff personally, so I just call him Mr. Koff.
He's not a mister, yeah. Like, would you call him if it's a doctor? Would you? I don't know personally. I'm going to call him Mister. No, out of respect, you call by his rank and Colonel.
If I not always call my doctor a doctor, when I see my doctor away from doctoring, I call my doctor, by her first name.
You do?
Yeah.
That's just rude. That's just rude. People.
No, it's just
work hard for that distinction of respect, and you're just Phil.
No, it's not. No, I have permission. It's not. It's like saying, no, please. Call me Hot Legs. All right, Hot Legs.
Google says yellow, or what? Google says yellow and fold in brown until you get into desired tint. Yellow and fold in brown. Fold in brown.
Yeah. See, I can see the brown also, but the brown is also got a tint of red in it. So
yeah, well, brown is by red and green mixed together will make brown, and then
yeah.
gold is difficult. But to the question, do I beat the devil out of it like Bob Ross? Bob Ross had those 2-inch brushes that he beat the devil out of. This is not a beat the devil out of type of thing.
Are you allowed to use the handles?
I don't know.
Can you put paint on the handle and I don't know.
Yeah, I end up
maybe chew on one end of the handle, make it a different size brush.
And the problem is, when I do the paintings that we're going to be doing in the party, I don't use 2 brushes, and then I get there and I go, now I got to be able to do it with just these 2 brushes. It's like I'm doing it on a much bigger canvas. They're doing it on a 14 by 11 by 14 or whatever canvas. I'm doing it on like a 18 by 24 inch canvas. I need bigger brushes, and I'm not just going to stick to 2 brushes, but I have to. And it's really frustrating to teach. Like,
now, what are those brushes made out of? I know when I was growing up, there was like horsehair brushes and cat hair brushes and stray hair brushes. Acrylic, plastic brush, not plastic, but fake material.
Yeah. Well, they use all natural bristle brushes, but I think they're like the cheapest. It's like roadkill.
Raccoon.
Roadkill. Yeah, roadkill brushes.
Possum, little skunk.
So I have paint parties this week, and not to brag about my full schedule or even complain or whatever about my full schedule, but it's a very full week this week. Every day I gotta go.
I think Mr. Kaufman says I am not a colon. I think
I'm not a colonel. I'm not a colonel. Well.
Oh, okay. I thought that said colon. My fault. I apologize.
Colonel.
I said I knew you weren't a colon. I would never. I didn't even try. I wasn't even trying to imply that you were one.
Colonel. It sounds like a good brand name. Colonel. He's a colon L.
Now there was a joke. There was a comedian who.
There's no comedian. Come on.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, and I knew where he was going to go, but when he went there, it was still funny anyway. He was talking about when he was in the service, and they thought he was stupid. They thought he had like low intelligence, and he walked in, and they said something about he pronounced Colonel Colonel like that.
Oh, was that Mike? That was Mike Kaufman doing that, wasn't it?
No, it was some black guy.
Oh.
I can't remember his name. I think his name was Rodney something. I can't remember.
Some black guy.
Yeah.
So this weekend,
I can't remember his name because I opened for him. So
this weekend was a big anniversary. Did you celebrate?
What kind of anniversary?
A big anniversary, a big one.
I did. I celebrated Crack the Sky's 50th anniversary. I just told you about that.
That's weird. So this weekend was their 50th anniversary?
Actually, I don't know which weekend it is. I know they're celebrating
it's
it.
The 50th anniversary of a president resigning in front of our eyes. It happened 50 years ago, August 9th, which was Saturday, right? And I was thinking about the monumental moment that was that Nixon was forced to resign not only by the opposing party, but his own party. It was very instrumental in saying, you got to quit, man. And he did. He folded under pressure. And then we watched that happen. That was like a monumental historic moment that happened in our lifetime. The kids, they weren't around for that. So
no, I remember that. I was sort of, like I said, because I was a Nixon supporter, and I was saddened by it, but I thought that's what he should have done, because it's like, no, you're guilty. You can't be there. You got to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you compare it to the scandals and the shit that goes on today, even Nixon's biggest supporters, most ardent supporters, in the beginning, they were pushing back like, yeah, they're making too much of this, and then but it became apparent that this shit wasn't going away, and it was real, and it was important enough to make a change. So the Republican, it's not going to happen in today's world. You're not. Now, this is what surprises me is Thomas Massey. If I had a bet on who would have been the one Republican to grow a pair of balls and stand up to Trump, it would not have been Thomas Massie or Marjorie Taylor Greene, who now their issue with him is mostly the Israel thing, the backing of it, and the AIPAC basically buying up congressmen. But they're at least standing up to him, and I think I'm surprised that Massie is adamant about this. And the harder push Trump now goes after Massie, the more he becomes anti-Trump. It's almost like almost I say hopeful that there is a glimmer of life in the Republican Party to say, let's stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Let's just let's just try to go back to normal. Maybe.
And I think Kool-Aid, I think Flavor Aid needs to reclaim their fame. I think Flavor Aid needs to own up to the fact that it's not don't drink the Kool-Aid. It's don't drink the flavor. Well, they should own it. They should own it in a positive way. They should say, we agree, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Drink Flavor Aid, the original cult classic.
Wow. Big, beautiful Bill said he met a woman yesterday who claimed to be Nixon's great niece. Wow, great niece. That's a double great. She worked for David Eisenhower and Julie Nixon.
I met Patrick Ching, and his claim to fame is that he's supposed to be the Pacific Island Bob Ross, the Bob Ross of the Pacific Islands.
Yeah,
you know Patrick Ching?
How old was this great niece, Big Beautiful Bill?
How great was she?
Yeah, I'm the great nobody of everybody. Right? No, I'm the nobody of everybody who is great. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. Why do you let me talk?
Why do we let you grate on our nerves?
Yeah. I just don't know. I don't know. So we have no guests this week. We have on Friday. We have this guy. What's his name?
I don't know.
I
didn't look because
Andy Dietrich.
Okay,
Andy
you haven't created that in the thing yet.
I have.
Not this morning. This morning there were only two things there.
No, I did it yesterday. The two things. The other one. There was this one, and the other one was Andy Dietrich returns or something like that.
Oh.
Now, Andy Dietrich was on the program not that long ago, probably like less than 2 months ago. Comedian who was born. You remember this story? What the hell? Now I can't remember. There was thing about born in Germany, moved to like Vancouver or something. There were, I forget now. There was an issue with his parents and divorcing and all this kind of stuff. And but I kept. It wasn't all that interesting as a comedian. That I don't know why he needs to come back again already in 2 months. He doesn't have anything to promote, but. He had some interesting story. I don't know. And I fucked it up. And Stephen was correcting me on telling the story about whatever his shit was. I think it was a racism issue, but I don't remember what it was. And you don't remember. And for you not to remember a racism issue, that's pretty telling. That says there was a lot of boring going on. You were probably sleeping.
That's possible. So I see so much racism. Not everything that's racist, is enough to like sit on my radar.
Right.
I just, to someone who sees no rate, like my wife would have gone like, what the fuck? And I'd have been like, really? No.
Yeah. So on Facebook yesterday, it was yesterday. Derek Sheen had this post about, it was Johnny Fuzzle doesn't matter. He had this post about progressives. It's weird. Some of them don't like the label liberals anymore, so they call themselves progressives. But how they need to kind of rebrand themselves to fight against the current Republican Party and all this stuff. And I brought up this story about Huffington Post in 2012, where I said about Mitt Romney and the Republicans that Barack Obama needs to stop painting Romney as a far-right extremist, because he's not a far-right extremist. He was a moderate. not that I was a Romney supporter and all this stuff, but you can beat him on. You should beat him on the policy issues. The fact that he was a uber capitalist, a what do they call him? Just buying up businesses and selling off the people.
Venture capitalists.
Yeah,
vulture capitalist.
Venture capitalist. Yeah, that's what it was. So you could beat him on that. You don't have to paint him as an extremist. And what I said was what got me banned from Huffington Post was saying, if you keep painting him as an extremist, you're going to get a real extremist. You're going to get President Rush Limbaugh or President Donald Trump. And I was not being Napodamus when I made that comment. It was pretty obvious that you would never get the Republicans to see that Romney as a far right guy. And if you keep saying that, well, he's just way too extreme, he's a Nazi, you're going to make them angry. First of all, they're already angry enough that you had the audacity to elect a black guy with a name like with a middle name like Hussein and a last name that sounds like Osama. You elected that guy. They're still pissed at that. They're throwing bricks through windows. The Tea Party stuff, kill a nigger on a fucking brick thrown through a window. So they were still angry at that. So if you're going to continue to paint Romney as that, all you're going to do is get them angrier and angrier, and this is what's going to happen. And a black guy saw that and he said, "What a racist pig you are!" Like, me? Because I'm pointing out. I said, "You're not calling out. You're forgetting that he was. They just hated Barack Obama because he was black." I said, in the comment that you are replying to, it says specifically, a lot of these people are just so angry about having a black dude. I mean, where do you get off this typical? I read something that doesn't feel right, and let me attack the guy before asking him to clarify. If I didn't understand what it meant, come out and just like, you know what? I will own the racist label, but that doesn't mean you have it right based on the comment that you just read, because I was just saying exactly what you're saying.
Now, I did want to mention earlier. You was talking about how the Trump cult does not like being called Nazis.
Yeah,
but they do Nazi stuff.
Right.
Now there's kind of like a dichotomy here. See, Nazis are bad to the majority of the world. Okay, most of the world sees Nazis and they see bad. But whatever group you belong to, I don't think any group that you belong to or any group sees themselves as bad. They see themselves as trying to do the Lord's work. Every group. I think child molesters see themselves as trying to do the Lord's work. Murderers see themselves as serial killers. They're just trying to do the Lord's work. They don't see themselves as bad or evil. It's just something that they have to do. And so while the Nazis don't want the world to see them as Nazis because of the resilience, they themselves don't think they're bad. And that's not why they're just claiming it. That's not why they're trying to. That's not why the cult is not trying to get away from it because they think they're bad. They're trying to get away from it. They don't want other people to think they're bad because they have an agenda. And if people are fighting them,
let's say I buy into that premise. If you believe that being a Nazi is doing the Lord's work, and somebody calls you a Nazi, that should sound to you like they're saying something nice about you, because this is definitely a thing within the Republican Party now. There is a revisionist thing that Hitler wasn't the bad guy, Winston Churchill was the bad guy, and so they are trying to paint the Nazis as they doing the Lord's work. But if I say you're doing that you should take that as a compliment, even though it's not meant as a compliment. You should take it as a compliment if that's what you truly believe.
Well, it's kind of like billionaires who they're billionaires and they want to be billionaires, but they don't, and they want to control things, but they don't want everybody to know they're trying to control things. It's like when the Koch brothers, they had their hands in every fucking thing, and they, didn't become billionaires overnight, but they liked and they wanted to be able to control things without people being aware who they were and what they were doing. And when Rachel Maddow just exposed them, they lost their fucking shit. And then it's like, okay, now they know who we are. We can't hide anymore, but they fucking fought it tooth and nail.
Well, the reason I'm not friends with Mikey Shane from the Rockin' 45s anymore, was because the Sunday before Election Day in 2024, I had a conversation with him in which he was forced to admit he was a Nazi and didn't feel bad about that. And he's like, oh, what can I say? I like him. A good person would say, no, I should have some introspection here and think what it means, what I just revealed to myself. I went at him with the idea that, because they will say Trump's not a Nazi, Trump's not a Nazi, stop saying Trump's a Nazi. And I came at him with the a dog doesn't lie about who its owner is. A dog will always run to its owner. And if you believe that's the case, like if there are a bunch of people, one person owns a dog and they're all saying, come on, the dog is going to go to its owner. And so I went, why are all the Nazis gravitating to Hitler? They know who their owner is. They know who their daddy is. They know who's feeding them. And finally I said, so they know he's a Nazi, and if you're following him, that makes you a Nazi. He said, okay, he's a Nazi. I guess I'm a Nazi too. What can I say? I just like him. Well, you could say goodbye to me because I cannot have Nazis in my life. I'm sorry. There's one thing there's probably more than one that I won't tolerate, but the idea that you're for exterminating people that you don't like or people who disagree with you, that's sort of a deal breaker in a friendship to me. It's like, because there are going to be times when I don't agree with you, and that means you want me exterminated. I mean, so well, when does it get to me? That whole thing.
Well, I have this. Well, contractually, I have to say this. Good morning, Ed from Bakersfield, and on the line. And now, Sunshine wants to know. Well, I don't think we've. Do you know who Derek Carney is? Apparently, he makes AI music videos. I've never heard of him.
Derek Carney.
And I thought maybe you might, only because you have an affinity for the AI world.
I do.
Well,
I did not know that about myself.
More so than I do. I mean, you're more, you're more merciful toward the AI people than I am. I say it's okay as a tool. And I think you agree it's okay as a tool, but I think that some of the people who use AI for a tool are also tools. So it depends. I'm a very old schooly kind of guy.
My take on it is not that I want to see the world become just dominated by fake creations. But the thing, and I would apply this to what Marin says about comedians too. He's worried that people are not, people are going to like that. So if people want to pay, people should have the right to pay for it, and you don't have to kind of disappoint them and make them feel guilty about the stuff they like. If they're pay for music created by AI, that's their choice. And I you know what? You like it? Go ahead, knock yourself out. There's no reason for me to go pop their balloon and say, it's fake, man. You're spending your money on fake stuff. Go ahead. It's your money. Spend it however you like it. If you think if you enjoy that music, if that's art to you, spend your money on it. I'm not going to tell you not to. There's a lot of people who are telling them not to. And I feel like you just don't. Do you worry about you? If you don't like the music and it sounds too phony, too AI for you, just ignore it. Don't tell other people they shouldn't like it. You shouldn't like what you like. Okay, I don't know. That bothers me. Like, you know what? Let people like what they like. Let them spend money on what they like. And
no, I agree. I just my biggest thing is I do not like the misdirection or the fakeness or the lies. Like I said, like what's going on, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, as a human being, he tries to be accurate, and as a human being, he tries to be truthful. If he doesn't know something and he learns, or if he knows something or thinks he knows something and he finds out later on that he was wrong about it, he'll correct himself and he'll say, I was wrong. I was sorry. I thought blah, 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 because he's not like an expert in every single thing. And he'll have experts on his show talking to them, and he'll say something, they go like, well, that's not exactly right. He'll go, oh, tell me, go ahead. But these AI things of his, they're not his. People using his voice or AI version of his voice with his likeness, and they're saying shit that's just absolutely fucking crazy. The people who take Neil deGrasse Tyson at his word may not be bright enough to research it for themselves. And then they'll be repeating these same talking points. It becomes part of popular knowledge when it shouldn't be.
Right. I wasn't aware he had a show.
Star Talk.
All right. I've seen him as a guest on everybody else's show, and I definitely like his approach to stuff and all that stuff. But I will say this about at least the AI stuff that I've worked with, because I did share with you guys yesterday something that AI created using my likeness, my voice. Sounds a little off, the voice.
Yeah.
People who know me enough can say, it's something funny. Did Matt have something up his ass that day or what? But they make you consent. They won't use your image or your voice without you saying a line like, I'm Matt Napo, I consent to my avatar being used for the purposes of this AI video. You have to say that line into it. So, and the ideas expressed in it were all mine. But so I'm thinking, if Neil deGrasse Tyson is not doing that,
right,
and somebody's using his language, his face and likeness, that's against the law, and he's got lawsuit stuff. If he is doing it, if he's given consent, then he probably, like me, went over the content and made sure I agree with all the stuff he saw.
Well, some of it, I can't imagine him putting. I can almost see him maybe if they're paying him, like saying, you get like 3 cents or what for every time somebody uses your video, and he go like, oh, and you don't make it clear to him the fine print, and he'll go like, or maybe his agent or whoever does the thinking for him or signing for him. Oh, sure, and they don't realize the consequences that now there's shit out there. And like I said, now if you're not savvy enough, or if you don't fact check, you may not know. No, it's just that some of it I just happen to know was wrong. When he said, I was like, that's not right. Did he misspeak? Did he misspeak? And then I listened to the voice and said, that's not really his voice. He didn't misspeak. Somebody's fucking up. And then there's some shit that's just blatantly wrong. I was like, whoa, that's conspiratorial. That's like flat earther shit. Right. But I don't want to respond to it because I don't want to give it more traffic.
Well, yeah, that's the big problem. Again, that comes back to my thing with the pendulum. The right thing to do is not to give it any force at all, just to ignore it. But then you're letting misinformation just sit there and people are absorbing it. So you want to give pushback, but any pushback you give it gives it more momentum and keeps it going. It's a tricky thing.
I think I'm going to reach out to Neil deGrasse Tyson. Not that I know how, but I'll just put it wherever I see his legitimate things. Wherever I see, I'll put comments in there saying your likeness is being used to create misinformation.
He probably knows about it, and this is one of the things that occurs to me is that there are some people not worth suing. No matter how much damage they're doing to you, it costs you so much to start a legal thing against them, a legal case against them, and they got nothing for you to take. Like, oh, what they have a 1-bedroom house in a shanty in the cheapest part of town, and what am I going to take from them? And they're never going to give that up. It's just a pointless lawsuit. So there's that, and most of these people who are doing that to try to make a penny off of Neil deGrasse Tyson's likeness or any celebrity's likeness, those people are doing it because they're fucking poor. Saw a guy talking about passive income yesterday. He's one of these, I got the latest app that's going to make you money while you're sleeping. He says, before you worry about passive income, try active income. Why don't you try to actually start a real business that sells something, and you go out and perform make a good product or service that takes your active, participation in, and then you can worry about scaling it to passive. But everybody wants to start with, I just want to make money while I sleep, and that's what these AI people using celebrity likenesses are trying to do. They're trying to make a penny here, a penny there off of those people. And who are they going to sue? They're going to sue a kid in his fucking mom's basement.
I would. I'd take the fucking basement.
You can't. He doesn't own the basement. You can't. You don't own the basement. The mom.
I'd take the kid. I would take the kid. You're mine. You are now my indentured servant.
Wow.
You're going to clean my yard. You're going to clean my cat's litter box.
The cat's litter box gets a little ammonia. I never liked cleaning cat litter boxes. This is why I was never a cat person on my own. I leave that up to the woman. Oh, he's in trouble now. Pete Hegseth shared this pastor. So he's promoting this pastor who's saying women should not. Now, they're going to shoot themselves in the foot with this idea. Women are good for one thing, and that's making babies, giving birth to babies. That's their job. They shouldn't vote. They shouldn't even have an opinion. We need to stop giving women a platform. Understanding that there are a lot of Republican women. I mean, I don't know if they know this, but
I think at last count there were 12.
Yeah, so, maybe 13. I don't know. Bakers doesn't.
What's that last count? So I mean, you may have a more recent count than I have.
But so the only people that they don't have the liberal women anyway. The liberal women are dead set against them. All you're doing, and you would think anyway, this is what makes sense, but maybe not, that the Republican women would say, well, you don't want me voting. Okay, I won't vote for you. I'll just stay home. That doesn't help them. The liberal women are still going to say, fuck you, I'm going out and voting. The only people who are going to listen to them are the people they need. But most of them aren't. They're going to say, okay, women will say, yeah, I agree. Women shouldn't vote, but I got to go vote anyway for the platform that women shouldn't vote. Fucking unbelievable. But then you don't see a lot of women reacting to this stuff. Now, the Secretary of Defense is actively promoting this idea that women have no place, they don't deserve to have an opinion, and they certainly shouldn't be voting. It's a very weird thing to do if you're in politics, to tell half the people you don't deserve a vote. But we're doomed anyway, right? With this all this gerrymandering stuff. Because you kept saying about the midterm, we're gonna be, I don't know, a kind of pushback.
Yeah. Well, usually the midterms are pushbacks anyway against the current administration.
Right. But can it be a pushback when they gerrymander the fuck out of things to the point where there can be no pushback?
Well, I think California has a new map drawn, and it goes into effect if the Texas map goes through. And I think in their case, they're getting rid of 12 Republican seats. So then the Democrats will pick up a net 7.
Yeah.
So I think
Texas and Florida outweigh California, though, don't they?
Yeah, but then Illinois and New York, I think, are working on the same type of thing.
I hate this fucking party politics, tribalism.
Yeah, that's why I think if it were up to me, political parties, people would not be able to register for political parties, or at least they wouldn't be on the things, on the ballots. There'd be no parties. Yeah. No parties on the ballots. Period.
Yeah.
You have to win. You have to win an argument with the people. You know, you can't just say I'm a Republican and go like, "Yay!" No, it's like I want to give rich people tax breaks, and I want to take the money from poor people. You have to come out and just, have that argument. Why poor is bad, and why they need to be punished.
Yeah. Wait, poor is bad?
Well, it's bad in the sense that the Republicans seem that they need to be punished. And why would you punish something if it wasn't bad?
You were already punishing it. This is kind of like Marin's thing. You've already won. They're down. Why are you still kicking? The poor are definitely down. And like, what? You're kicking people who can't get up and fight. What you can just they're gonna die anyway. Just let them fucking die in peace. They don't need any more kicks to the head. I don't know. DC though, I would love to take a ride down to DC and just experience some of the abuse. Just because they would pick me out. I look like a homeless guy anyway. Look at his shirt I'm wearing. He must be homeless. Let's lock him up.
You also dressed like quite a few of the people that I saw at Crack the Sky yesterday.
Wow.
That was, see, they've been around for 50 years. Their first album, Flex, has been around for 50 years. And I thought to myself, okay, I have been listening to Crack the Sky for like 49 or 49 years. And I forget that over that time, I've gotten older, you know, and back then there were people probably older than me listening to Crack the Sky. And the fact that most of them are white, and most white people don't age well, that was one ugly fucking crowd.
You know, yesterday my wife said to me, this is her exact words, "I hope you live to 80. I was like, what happened to 100?
Does she have like a plan for you? How much younger is she than you?
6 years younger than me. So she would be 74 when
I know a woman who got remarried when she was 76.
Well, just like, where'd you pick that number at? Because I'm getting close to that. Like, I hope you live to 80. Well, that's my first thing was, well, that's a nice. Wait,
she's got a 14-year plan for you. She probably went through her. She probably hired an actuary, and she goes, "What is the optimum age for my husband to die so that I can still be young enough to benefit?" And they go 80, and she goes, "Okay."
Yeah, I think I haven't looked this up in a while, but I think the lifespan for an average American male on Long Island is 77. So that would give me three extra. What she said was, because I told you about the 54-year-old curse. My family, all the males in my family died at 54. I thought I was a goner at 54. She's like, look, you got 11 extra years already, and coming up on your 12th extra year here this month. You're already in the bonus.
You're in the black. You're in the black. Yeah.
Yeah. So another 14 years is like, topping on the cake or something.
And then she'll be in the black.
Yeah.
A black dress, and then also a black dress, but also in a good financial shape.
Well, we were talking. The reason we got into this whole thing was about the kids. The kids are moving out again. They're going to get an apartment, and the apartment.
For how long? How long is the lease? So you know when they'll be back.
I think it's only a year lease, but
okay, so they'll be back in a year.
Yeah, apartment rents start at $3,000.
Wow.
Right, and not to give away too much of other people's business, but only one of them, my stepdaughter, is the major breadwinner in this thing, and that's a lot for one person to really hack. $3,000 just for rent, not including car insurance, cable TV, and all the kind of extra expenses that come on top of that. It's a lot.
Yeah, so that's $3,000 a month, and that's not with the electricity or utilities. That's just.
Well, I don't know. I asked it. Is heat and electricity folded because it's an apartment complex? It's not like an apartment in a house, so it might include that stuff. Lawn care and whatever, all that kind of, the maintenance around. But still, that's a huge nut to crack for kids on Long Island. And my thing was talking about, I don't know if you've seen this, and I hate to promote Elon Musk stuff, but he has granny pods. It's a 2-bedroom house. They deliver, and on your land, it's already completely, all you need to hook up is a plumbing and electric, and you got yourself a house for $7,000, and it's a cute little house, cute little 2-bedroom house. Granny pods is what they call them.
It's slightly bigger than the $3,000 a month apartment.
It's about the same size, and you know what? It's a house, and we have land here, and we have plenty of land. Like I'm sure we'd have to get permits and all that stuff, but basically, you're talking about because houses, the average house price is $600,000 in this neighborhood, and that's for a cheap little. So this is something you get $7,000. You don't have any mortgage payment. You pay it off one time. You bought it, and now you have your electric bill, your water bill, and.
Now, do y'all have like an HOA or something that would prevent you from putting it out there? I mean, I know you said you had to get permits, but permits are not the same thing as an HOA. HOA is like Nazism for residential neighborhood Nazism.
There is Shorridge Hills community thing, but it's not like an HOA. But yeah, they do get involved, too involved with the telling people how they can live. But they've all done it. Every mansion, and there are some mansions in this neighborhood. Every mansion has another small house or a couple of small houses on their property already. People get around that, and they do it. So yeah, that's what I was talking. The town of Brookhaven permits, and the Shorridge Hills people would probably want to permit to, and a little grease to make it. But still, you're talking about a house for less than $20,000, where houses in an area where houses start at a minimum of $600,000, and then you can live a life without that fucking hard nut to crack every fucking month for the rest of your life, where you own nothing, you walk away with nothing. It seems to me it makes, but you know, they don't want to. They don't want to feel like, oh, I'm still living on your mom's property and all that stuff.
And I can understand that, and I would probably have feelings about that also, but
the economics of it. Now, again, think about this. Put it on and I'm not selling it to you like this is, but so they get this house, they buy it, this mini pod or these tiny houses that I'm looking at, and they put it up here. They get this house when we die anyway. They rent this house out. They get their rent from this, and that pays all their bills, and they live a life of ease and kind of get to take vacations and live without the stress of money worries and all that stuff. It just seems like a no-brainer to me. That's what I would do if I were a young person. Or I'd get the fuck off of Long Island. Hello, Becky. Good morning. Becky can appreciate the price of everything going up, and how difficult it is. And Becky's not like a kid, but how difficult it is for young people to actually make a life today with all, you know. And I think the future is going to be banks owning all these private houses. The banks are just going to buy them up and rent them out to people. Everybody's going to be a renter at some point in the near future. So, I don't know. But so that's what brought up the old. Well, I hope you live to be 80. 80. Thank you. I guess that's better than 66, which is coming up in 20 days or something, 19 days. I don't know.
Who's counting?
Yeah, I am. What is today? The 11th. So yeah, that'll be 19 days. As soon as I turn 66 in 19 days, I'm going to start calling myself 67. I've been doing this. When I was talking about this when I was young, I would pull back on that. Like I'm 20 until I'm 22. But now I'm pushing it in advance because I'm not sure I'm going to make it. And I want on the tombstone, or where not going to be a tombstone. Well, on the box, say he was 66 when he was really 65 or whatever. I want that extra year.
I know my mother pulled the Jack Benny. When she turned 29, she stayed 29 for like 10 years.
Jack Benny was a 39 guy.
I know. And then she hit 39 and she stayed 39 for 10 years. And then when she hit 49, she became Plenty-9.
Yeah. I'm just curious. Becky saying her son is struggling in I think he's in Central Florida. What are like average like apartment rentals, house rentals in Central Florida? Because here on Long Island, like again, this is not like a luxury apartment that starts at $3,000 a month. This is just a regular apartment in a regular apartment complex, and I think that's so. Apartments can go up $4,000 or $5,000 a month for an apartment on Long Island, not in Manhattan, where apartments can be $50,000 a month or whatever. It just seems crazy. The other thing about Long Island is this is the immigration situation is affecting Eastern Long Island in a big way. The people in the Hamptons can't get landscapers, and this I don't want to say who. Somebody I know, somebody everybody would know. He's kind of sort of famous. Was talking about he's ready to start paying $200 an hour for landscapers to come because he can't get anybody to out in the Hamptons to do the weeds and landscaping stuff. So $200 an I'm almost ready. Like
I'm about to say $200 an hour. I may be getting my gardening tools and heading up there.
Well, the point he was making, or the argument he was making, is the illegal immigrants work so hard that it only takes them 2 hours. So for $400, but Americans might take all day American workers.
Right, yeah. And he's right. Matter of fact, I'd be there 6 hours.
Yeah. So I think once he sees you working 6 hours at $200, it's going to come down a bit, like $50 an hour. But still, the point is that the immigration stuff is definitely causing the rich people some heartaches over there. They weren't necessarily. And ICE, they're out in the Hamptons. ICE is doing raids out in the Hamptons, sweeping up their landscapers and stuff, and the rich white people are coming out and say, "Hey, wait a minute! Don't take that guy. That guy's my landscaper. I need him." Not too tough. He's gone. He's gone. Get yourself an American. Well,
now going to DC, because they're talking about grabbing homeless people off the streets in DC and arresting them.
Yeah.
How long before they start grabbing up veterans? And then that becomes the issue.
Not even a second. I'm certain.
Because a lot of the homeless are veterans, and a lot of them don't want to be in housing, so to speak. It's like there are a lot of people who, for some reason or another, rather be on the streets than take charity, what they view as charity or whatever, or they've suffered so much mentally that being in the house is like worse than being in a cage.
Yeah. And they're going to run out of holding cells. I mean, there aren't enough prisons already. I mean, they keep building more and more and privatizing prisons and all that stuff. But DC, they're going to be putting them in holding cells, and they're going to run out of them pretty quickly. I'm not saying I have a solution to homelessness, crime in cities, and all that stuff, but it seems like everything they want to do, the most simplistic things, are just childish in their approach to solving problems. And here's a perfect example. The Trump administration is now claiming we have zero illegal immigrants. We've got it down to there's no illegals coming in right now, according to them.
Right, but then again, we know what they think of numbers and facts.
Right. But so let's say that let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that's true, whether it is or not. Remember, they were going to build a wall for that purpose. Are they now ready to admit the wall was not necessary because you managed to do that in 7 months without the wall? Are you admitting that wall was a stupid idea? Oh no, we still need the wall. Why? We got no. What do you need the wall for if you got no? I don't think sometimes they realize the logical corner they paint themselves into, because at this point that wall seemed to be a stupid idea. Whose idea was that again? Oh, don't say it was a stupid idea. We can't ever admit to being wrong or having a stupid idea. But clearly, if you've accomplished the goal without the wall was a stupid and ugly expenditure that wasn't necessary ever, despite the fact that Mexico never paid a dime for it, was never going to pay a dime for it. But you won't hear that anyplace but right here on Coffee with the Dog. Drew Barrymore is with Bill Maher, and she says, it's too dangerous to speak the truth right now.
I guess for some people, I mean,
Cowards,
how should you put it?
Too.
But then again, when was it not dangerous to speak the truth to power? Galileo was imprisoned for that, right? Or was he put to death? Was Galileo put to death eventually, or was he just imprisoned?
I think he was killed, yeah.
No, so when in human history has telling the truth to power not been dangerous?
Right. And that's the point of calling cowardice. And I got in this argument with might surprise you. I don't know. You're going to be shocked. Hold on. You might want to sit down for this. Okay. I got into an argument with somebody on Twitter.
Well, no, wait a minute. I got to sit down.
I told you to sit down.
I was, but I wasn't sitting hard enough. I have to sit harder.
Yeah.
There we go. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, they were talking about. I came up about them asking for a civil war, and when people give them what they want, they back down. And somebody said, "Are you stepping up?" I said, hell yes. I'm ready to die for what I believe in. I've always been ready to die for what I believe in.
Yeah.
But I listen. My life is not much of a sacrifice at this point anyway. Ask my wife; she's hoping for another 14 years at best. But it doesn't. But the point is, give me liberty or give me death still stands. Why would you just accept a life of totalitarianism if you don't believe in that and that's hell to you? Wouldn't you rather be dead than to live under somebody's fucking thumb your entire life? Oh, you're crazy, man. What a fucking ridiculous notion that is. No, it's only a ridiculous notion if you're a coward. If your life has no meaning and no worth and you don't have any values and principles to defend, then you get that opinion. But you were the guys who are calling for civil war the entire time. You call for it, you call for it, you call for it. You get the slightest pushback on it, and you're like, hey, well, you knew. What's with the name calling, dude? Hello? Who was your fucking cult leader? Mr. You celebrate his fucking name, Sloppy Steve, all whatever, every fucking name he comes up with, people, Newscomb. You celebrate that. Somebody calls you a fucking retard. Oh, what's with the name calling? Like, wait a minute. You are on the name calling team. You wanted to. I'd be happy to give up the name calling. You want to give it up? Let's start with your cult leader. But
now, Howard. Well, I don't know if you pay attention to this because I'm just going to throw this name out there. Somebody named Sunshine was mentioning that it says farms are suffering. Have you noticed the uptick in price on produce?
Yeah, everything is going up. Now we are expecting price index numbers this week, but given the pressure to deliver numbers that are favorable to the Fuhrer, those statistics are going to be in doubt no matter what. But I still think they're going to end up being negative numbers. I'm certain they are, because at some point, I was thinking about we don't need the numbers at some point. People know when they have less money in their pocket, no matter how many times, how hard you lie to them saying, oh, the economy is booming. They know they're fucking broke.
And when, like, for example, because under Biden, our economy was doing, well, first of all, it was doing better than all of the other countries that were suffering the same fate with, recovering from COVID and worldwide inflation. We were doing the best. Now, part of that is that we subsidize so much shit. That's part of it. And part of it is also the policies that we have.
Yeah.
But he couldn't go around saying, people didn't understand. He says, yeah, but look where we are in the world. It would be so much worse if we didn't have these policies. People didn't want to hear that. Yeah. They didn't want to hear it would be so much worse if we didn't do what we did. They wanted to hear, yeah, it's bad though. And he's like, look, I can't make it much better, but it could be much worse. And they're like, yeah, but we want it much better. And it's like, yeah, but we can't make it much better without becoming authoritarian and telling companies, well, okay, you have to limit how much money you're making. You have to do this. Then it would be much better, which they would have a fit if he did that. And now things are going to get much worse because they wouldn't accept the fact that Biden couldn't make it much better, because presidents don't have that kind of power. Presidents have more power to make things worse than they have the power to make things better.
Yeah.
And we're seeing this now because Trump is just making things worse without the help of Congress even. But if he wanted to improve shit, Congress had to say, like, hey, you can't go around forgiving debt. You're going to need our help and we're going to sue you.
Yeah. Now there's all this stuff about the tariffs, and then no matter how many times you try to explain this to people who don't understand, if something is being imported, let's just say from France, let's just pick any country, it's being imported from France. France is not paying the tariffs. Right. The companies on this side of the world are paying the tariffs. The companies that are getting the goods from France are paying the tariffs. So it's an American expenditure. Ford paid almost $1 billion in tariffs in June, I believe it was. They're going to pass that on to consumers. That's just
now some companies are trying to not pass on so much.
Yeah,
but it's still not passing on so much. It's still passing on some.
Still passing it on, and you're going to pay more. And the idea that we got more money in our coffers coming from other countries, it's just bullshit. The money's not coming from other countries. It's
the only way the other countries are being hurt is that some of their goods are not being purchased. That's how they're being hurt, but that's not them paying for it. We're paying for it.
Right. So yeah, prices are going to continue to go up and up and up until. And this is the thing. When do people start saying? When do the people start saying, "Stop bullshitting us and telling us how great things are going"? We know no matter who you hire to give you numbers you want to give, there's still the reality of we can't afford rent this month. We can't afford food this month. The reality is going to outweigh the propaganda at some point. And when is that point?
And when do the cult members realize that the price? I mean, do they accept the fact that the prices are going up, and do they just say, "Yeah, it's not the tariffs, it's Biden that's doing it"? Is that what they do, or do they just say, "Wait a minute, this didn't happen until we had the tariffs. This is not a good policy. Our cult leader is bad." Okay.
Slaptail says, "No, Matt, they take the loss. Cars are free." No, butterflies are free. What cars are free? Butterflies are free. What song is this guy singing?
But how far can you drive a butterfly? And not only that, butterflies apparently are who was it? Somebody just the actress from Walking Dead. She died on Saturday, and she died on Saturday. And Saturday evening, they said her relative. She's already made her presence known to us through various butterflies.
Groceries are pennies, and prescription drug companies have to pay us to take their meds. That's what the 1,200, 1,500% discount is.
Yes.
Listen to the sound of my voice. Listen to the sound of my voice. Keep your eye on my pocket watch. You're getting sleepy. No, I'm not getting sleepy. I'm fucking totally dead. Well, I am the Walking Dead, speaking of that. They'll find a way to blame it on some minority. Yeah, no, it's always the poor people's fault. And then they'll blame the poor, which is the majority. But
whatever. Just in, Sunshine says I don't have to mention her by name, so if I'm embarrassing Sunshine by mentioning Sunshine by name, then I'll just won't mention Sunshine by name if that's okay. If that's okay with you, Matt, I won't say Sunshine.
I don't even know. That's not even. I mean, that's not their real name anyway. This is
it says handle. It says it acknowledges that that's their handle.
Yeah.
And I don't have to say Sunshine. So I'll try not to, but I have a tendency to read things, especially if someone said something. I don't want someone to think that I said it. Especially if it gets me in trouble. I want if Sunshine says something that gets me in trouble, I want people to know it was Sunshine who said it, not me.
Sunshine came softly through my window today.
Really? Sunshine just crashed my window. Just broke right in. There's no glass.
Who was that? Who did that song? Was it Donovan?
John Denver.
Sunshine came softly through my window today. Yeah, I think it was Donovan. I don't know. Let me this thing that I talked about in the opening here. Joe Rogan.
The Crack the Sky concert?
No. Joe Rogan saying that Democrats, and listen, I hate to sound like I'm defending Democrats. Nobody.
Donovan.
But according to Joe Rogan, Democrats want men. This is exactly what they want men with beards in women's restrooms. And I'm like, find me anybody, Democrat, progressive, liberal, whatever they label themselves as. Find me one person who says they want, not they're willing to accept, they want, this is their agenda, to put men in women's bathrooms. Number one, I think you're not going to find anybody who says they want that. You might find some people that say, who cares? They're not going to be raping in there anyway. I mean, I don't know about you. If you see somebody taking a piss or a shit, does that get you sexually aroused? I think most people would say no. But
I am. Matter of fact, I have to point my erection in the other direction. One direction. I point my erection in one direction so that they don't realize what's going on.
Right.
It's even and going back, let's say 3 or 4 months when there were concerts, and the women's line would be like super long, and then but the men's line would have like 9 urinals, 6 stalls, and 4 people.
Yeah.
The women would come into the men's bathroom.
See,
to use the
women
stalls.
voluntarily go into the men's bathrooms and clubs and concerts and stuff almost all the time.
And they went in and not being afraid that even though they'd be like, okay, they go in the buddy system, so it'd be like her and her friend, one would guard the stall, but there's still 2 against 9 guys. If they're if that was an issue.
The basic premise here is if somebody is a trans person, they're a rapist. Like, I think there may be some that absolutely may be some trans people who are rapists, but I think
rape isn't about sex;
rapists,
it's about power. Rape isn't about sex anyway; it's about power.
I get it, but I'm going to go out on a limb here to say probably, and maybe somebody wants to look this up. Statistically, non-trans people dominate the rapist.
Not only non-trans people, but non-trans people who are citizens.
Right.
They're not even immigrants. Most of them are citizens who are non-trans.
Right. So this idea that public bathrooms are fodder for rape, not knowing that who could walk in on you and catch you at any moment. I don't think that's where rapes are happening. Even if you put in even if you opened up bathrooms to any fucking skeevy, homeless, vagrant, I still don't think the rape would be happening in public restrooms. It would be happening in parking garages. It would be happening in dark alleys. It would be happening behind the dumpster.
I'm curious, just on a statistical matter, because there's 535 people in Congress. I'm assuming most of them are men, but I don't know exactly how many are men. I'm just curious how many people have been raped by Congress people versus how many people have been raped by transgender people in bathrooms.
Ooh. That would be an interesting thing. Well, no congressperson is going to admit to rape, many people
but we know some.
Yeah, but I agree. But the majority would be reluctant to even report a rape in that situation because the powerful, the consequences of claiming rape when you're going up against a powerful person only to be defeated just makes it even more humiliating and more devastating and all that kind of stuff.
I'm going to put in a FOIA request because I want to know.
All right.
But I need a press pass, right? Do I need a press pass to have a FOIA request?
No. Any individual can do that, but I'm
not a full individual yet, right? So I need another black guy so we can have like 6 fists to make a request.
You could use my name if you want.
Okay.
I'll be your white shadow. Whatever. FOIA request. I would like to put in my own FOIA request for a ballistics report on Thomas Crook's gun rifle. I would like that done. Why can't we get that done? But last thing on this bathroom thing, because I don't think I use public bathrooms that much. Am I right about this? There's a latch on the door in stalls. There's a latch on that. You can't get in there from the outside, right?
And 90% of them work. 90% of them actually work.
Yeah.
I think 92. Okay, I'm gonna put in a FOIA request because I'm thinking it's like 92.67% now.
I'm not sure that the feds keep a track of the number of latches that work, but maybe.
I think the government keeps track of them.
So, but the solutions are pretty simple. They don't want to do any of the solutions. The solutions are have one person in a bathroom at a time, which would make the lines longer, but it definitely solved that problem. So you don't have if that's a concern you're worried about, you've got men in a dress. Just have one person, like in your house. If you have a party, one person is using that bathroom at a time. You don't have like the whole not everybody going in there. Also, their proposed solution is the cock police, which before you go in there, let me look down. You like, who wants that? That's like, I thought we don't want the government in our business. You want the government to be looking at your cock, or you got a cock or a vagina in there. That's not a viable solution. But the other solution, it's just to come up with a third bathroom. You got men's, women's, and
family.
Potpourri.
Now, I stand corrected. I just checked with AI, and according to AI, 96.33% of all latches work in the restrooms. And if you break it down by gender, it is 98%, 98.11% of the women's bathrooms, the latches work, but it's 92.46 in the men's. Yeah. And then that discrepancy is in the one that doesn't follow. It's like the family bathrooms. They're not men or women.
So why do you think they hold on to this fucking thing? Like it's a thing. Like Democrat, and listen, again, I hate to sound like I'm fucking making a case for the Democratic Party. I don't think anybody, I don't care how far left, what your ideology is, nobody wants men to be perving on women. But why they hold on to this like it's a thing. It's not a thing. Again,
I think it's a distraction from the fact that they're perving. They're the pervs. I mean,
I think Rogan actually believed it when he said that. When those words were leaving his mouth, he had the conviction of somebody who actually believes the words it's saying. Like, Democrats want bearded men in women's bathrooms. Like, this is going to further their agenda somehow. Like,
I have a family member who's a Trump supporter who says that it's, and you can't get them to the place where logic contradicts what they're saying. You can't get them to that place, because then something else pops up to reinforce their myth, Right. And part of it is so much of their identity is tied up in that. They can't let go of their identity. Now, as far as Rogan goes, he didn't have much of an identity to begin with. He was just a blank slate trying to make money.
Yeah, he is the epitome of say anything to make a dime type of guy, or for attention or publicity or whatever it is. But I was making this kind of the cult where you give up you tie your entire identity into the cult leader thing, and this is definitely happening in Trump. I was making the case that it did happen with Obama to a degree, but not to anywhere to near the degree it's happening with Trump. When I was critical of Barack Obama's policies, I know several friends who took it as if I were insulting them and their mother or father in some way. Like, how dare you say that about me? Like, I'm not saying that about you. I'm saying that about, not even about the personality that is Barack Obama, about the policies. Like the idea that he would use the IRS to target conservatives. That was something worth criticizing. Now, I'm not saying that's on the level of what we're seeing today, but at the time it was pretty outrageous. This was Nixonian type politics, and I was calling that out, and they all got mad at me as if I was really insulting them directly. Like, wait a minute. Now with Trump, that has gone through the roof, where you can't even say Trump doesn't weigh 235 pounds or whatever he says he weighs. They take that, every little fucking criticism is like, God, how dare you say that about me? You're evil. You're devil. You're mean. Why are you being mean to me? I'm not being mean to you. You just happen to believe in a lot of bullshit. That's all.
Yeah, I know when I was critical of some of Obama's policies, particularly when he was trying to set up the Affordable Care Act, his negotiation tactics were atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Some of the worst negotiating I'd ever seen. Is like, you are really bad at this. And not just he was bad at it, but even the way he came to those conclusions was bad. It was just awful.
Yeah.
It's one thing to have like you come up with a bad decision, but when your methodology is also bad, it's like a double whammy.
Well, he definitely he had the right intention with the Affordable Care Act. He knew it wasn't going to get passed unless he bent the knee a little bit to the
insurance companies.
Insurance companies, PACs, and all that stuff. But he bent that knee way too far in letting them write the mandate and all that.
Yeah, he bent that knee all the way to him in his own ass.
Yeah. But the other thing that I criticize, and this is where, boy, the Obama supporters will hate me for this. They think I'm being a typical Republican. Benghazi. I think Benghazi was Nixonian to an extent where, hear me out here, because I know this is going to trigger some people. The regime change in Libya with getting rid of Gaddafi, I think everybody on the right supported that. I mean, if you go back, Reagan bombed Gaddafi's fucking bathrooms. I mean, we all wanted Gaddafi gone, that regime change. It was done poorly, and the rebels got a hold of American weapons and used that against us on the anniversary of September September 11th. And they were doing that as a demonstration. Barack Obama was up for re-election and could not admit that there were some mistakes made during the regime change. So he had Susan Rice go out and tell this lie. And that cover-up became the big talking point. Now, there was nothing criminal in any of this stuff. 4 American lives were lost. That was not crime. That was poor planning. That was poor response to, or poor thinking about that regime change, that this might be a thing that could happen. But then to lie about it was a mistake. He should have. Reagan did this in a very elegant way, and I know there are people who hate Reagan, but at least with Iran-Contra, Reagan saw the opportunity to come out and say, mea culpa, this was a mistake, where that really was a fucking crime.
You know, when Reagan did that, was that around an election year, though? Was that
it wasn't an election year. There wasn't an election coming up.
He may have had he may have done something different during an election year, like,
absolutely.
What? Copa? Copacabana?
You're absolutely right about that. But there was some evidence to say that doing a mea culpa in the right way could actually work to your benefit and get people on your side.
I agree, but also in the Reagan era and by the time Barack Obama came around, even though it was only like a few presidents, politically, apologies was, the accept responsibility was kryptonite. Back in the day, the buck stopped with me meant something. Now it's like the buck stops with you and your head must roll, even and regardless, so. So you weren't allowed to make a mistake.
I agree with you, but in taking the tack that he did, he gave the Jim Jordans and these fucking people in Congress the platform to say, well, it was a crime. And Benghazi, no matter if you listen critically and objectively, even if you're a fucking diehard Republican, there was no crime committed in the Benghazi incident and all that stuff. It wasn't a criminal thing. There were mistakes made and lies told to cover up those mistakes. And I think that was bad policy. But I equate that to Nixon. Maybe Nixon was worse, but Nixon trying to continue the Vietnam War when he was running the first time, going behind Johnson's back and talking to the president of South Vietnam and saying, "Don't end the war just yet. Wait till I take office."
Or don't release the hostages just yet. I'll sell you the weapons you want. Just don't release the hostages yet.
Yeah. So that's actually borderline treason, if not treason.
Right.
So that's a real crime. Barack Obama's was not a real crime. It was just a matter of, and I think he would have. It was revisionist in hindsight, 2020, all this stuff. But I think he would have been much better off if he would have just went to the American people, say, we made a mistake in the regime change, but every one of us supported, right, left, everybody wanted Gaddafi.
I think a better approach for him might have been like to combine what you said, as like, without saying that he made the mistakes, as there were mistakes made, we have started a commission to look into it, to find out. And that way you admit a mistake, you show that you're taking some action, but you're also buying time, because commissions take 12, 13, 14, 15 years to find results. And by that time, Barack Obama would have been out of office. 13 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would have been and listen, again, hindsight being 2020, maybe he would agree with us now, but it's too late to do anything about it. But in handling it the way he did, it gave these fucking guys they're still talking about Benghazi as if it were a crime. Like they're like
right, yeah. But then again, they're still talking about Pizzagate like there was a crime. Well, there was, but it wasn't the Clintons. It was the shooter who shot up the pizza place.
I don't hear many people talking about that stuff.
Oh, they do. Yeah, it comes up. I see it. Otherwise, I wouldn't think about it. I see it on the TikToks once in a while.
Yeah, it's just it's a really it's hard to deal with this shit every day to day. It's just like, and this is why I have really no hope of things improving. It's just like we are too far gone into this partisan, not listening to each other, and these conversations about all these things are just like, boy, don't talk bad about my guy. I don't have a guy. You could talk bad about any politician, left or right. I don't have a guy. I don't have a girl. You know what? I admit they're all flawed people. So
I agree, except for Elizabeth Warren. She's a saint. No, actually, I don't think she's a saint. I just think that she was treated way, way, way too harshly. She actually had real policies that she was standing behind, and real solutions. And people kept saying, "But she doesn't have any policies." Like, yes, she does.
Nobody would listen to him. Nobody even. I can't even know of anybody. Remember anybody actually talking about any of her policy stuff. It was all the fact that she lied about her heritage, which I'll list. If we're going to be fair about this, especially on Long Island, where we have these little pockets of native tribes and stuff, there are an awful lot of white people and black people who claim they have native blood who don't. I mean, this is a fucking, and why it feels like, I don't know, it's just something to be honored. Like, oh, I have native blood. Like, why you wear that as a badge of honor is beyond me. You are who you are.
There's a show. It's called Finding Your Roots with Skip Gates. And that show has celebrities, and they go back into their past. And one of the questions they ask routinely in the beginning is, "What do you think you are? Or what do you think you're made of?" And a lot of times they say, like, "Well, the rumor has always been that we're 100% Irish." And then the thing is, and that's what our family is 100% Irish. Or our family is like 50% Irish and 22% this. And then they come back at the very end of the show, and they'll be like, "Wait, no Chinese in me at all? None? What about my eyes? What? No, that kind of thing." Because there's lore in our families that we just accept. When I was growing up, and I put this in my comedy, I grew up thinking that my family was 125% Apache, and it didn't start off like that. When I was little, we were only 1/3 Apache. And then it just kept growing and growing. And by the time I was 12, we were 125% Apache.
Your point is well taken. Like, I don't think, and I don't know her, but I don't think Elizabeth Warren manufactured that lie. I think her family passed down that lore of, and so she was just going by what her parents or grandparents told her. And then she was probably as surprised as anybody to do a blood test and find out that she didn't have any native blood. But that distracted from all the policy things that she ever talked about. It's just, oh, Pocahontas now. She's forever Pocahontas.
And he's still, and that Trump cult guy still calls her Pocahontas.
Yeah. So,
and I have to give her credit when she gets interviewed, she does such good interviews because they're policy driven, and occasionally she'll take a jab at someone occasionally, but it's policy driven. Yeah. I really like Elizabeth Warren, and like I said, even if I don't agree with her policies, she thinks it's thought out, and she'll say, "This is why I want to do this, and this is what you can expect from this if we did this." And she brings the receipts. That's why I like her. She brings the receipts. Yeah. I don't have to agree with a person if they bring in their receipts. I can at least appreciate them. And then we can have the discussion on whether or not their idea is a good idea or a bad idea.
Yeah. I think there is there's this whole we've painted ourselves into a corner where there's no turning back. There's no reconciling where we can have good quality conversations about issues and offer real solutions. And, this is not coming to a Drew Barrymore place where it's not safe to speak the truth. It's we're not listening to each other, even if somebody has a valid idea that could be worked out or has room for a workable solution in there. We automatically shut it down because what side are you on? Whose side are you on? Oh, you're on the right. Well, I can't listen to you, even though you might have a good idea. Oh, you're on the left. I can't listen to you because you might have a good idea. It's America's it's run its course, hasn't it? It has. Like as far as great civilizations go, they don't last more than a couple of 100 years.
This is our Armageddon.
Well, now coming back to Ronald Reagan, he did make that observation that it will be interesting to see how our differences get resolved if we knew there was another aggressive planet or alien world threatening us. We'd come together. And this kind of brings me to the whole globalization argument, because when I did have a friend named Mikey Scarione, he got Fox News telling him, "Oh, globalization is bad. The globalists are all bad." How can, and this is why I'm hoping this comet or whatever it is that's coming here truly is like an alien force. The one thing that would get us to think we need each other, we depend on each other. I mean, nations, people, neighbors, human beings depend on each other for, just like if you go back to the original tribalism when we came out of the caves, there was comfort in the tribe, there is comfort in the planet, especially if we're getting attacked by another planet. We're going to need to come together quickly and solve all our differences and say we are one Earth. We are people of Earth against this foreign invader. In a way, my hope is that this thing is an invading force coming to start trouble with us.
Have you paid attention to a comic strip called The Watchmen? It was also a movie and also a series. One of the premises of The Watchmen, I mean, they had a quote heroes. Most of them didn't have any like superpowers. They were just vigilantes and stuff, but they were caped crusaders, so to speak. But one of them came to the conclusion that they're always fighting crime. There will always be crime. There will always be dictators unless we can get the world to stand together as one. And so he faked an alien attack. He was like I think his name is Ozymandias or something like that. And he was the smartest person on the planet. And so he devised a way to make it. Well, this is in the comics. This is in the comics. I'm not talking real world now.
So
in the comics, he's the smartest person alive. And he devised a way to make people think that we were under attack by aliens. And basically what it was is he created like some squid type of creature in the lab by cloning and experiments and stuff like that. And then he developed transporters, and he kept transporting these monsters into like the middle of New York or Saigon or whatever. And so these huge monsters would appear. And then, of course, I think they would die out or we'd fight them. But they go like, oh, we're under attack. The planet must join together to fight this, And so, and part of the thing is they have that, I think they carry it out for like years and years and years until I think it gets, if you watch the sequel, every so often, like every month or so, they would just transport a few of those squid type monsters just to remind people that the aliens are out there, even though they're not aliens. They're actually just, shit made in the lab.
Wow.
Because once you start that, you have to keep it up. Otherwise, we'll go back to our nature and our tribalism.
Yeah. So, bottom line is, Becky is talking about centralization, which is different than globalism. And I'm not saying we should, and I don't know what any of the solutions are, but recognizing that not everybody on this planet is our enemy, and that we do coexist in some way. Whether the group that left the cave when we needed the comfort of a small tribe to protect us from predators and all those kind of stuff, that has just grown to 8 billion people. But in some way, our tribe of 8 billion people, if we could come together and see that we all rely on each other in some way, it becomes less than all about me. Oh, wait, we need more whatever resources for the United States of America. We need to share these resources and not be at war with each other in case the predatory beings that we don't even know but are pretty certain they do exist somewhere out there want to start trouble with it. They're running out of resources on planet XQ40 out in the Andromeda strain or whatever.
Well, right now, I think most of the predatory creatures are lenders.
All right. Yeah. She said, no, that's a good thing either way, but there seems to be a ton of orgs that are bad that want us to be a global economy standardized. Again, I think there are enough resources that everybody on this planet, even 8 billion people, could live somewhat comfortably. When we have, what was the number of billionaires in the United States? You point up like 400.
913.
So that's a lot of billionaires. That's billionaires, people who will never, ever run out of resources. And then you trickle that down to multimillionaires and how many of them are. I mean, all those people, and I'm not saying they should give up what they worked hard for. I'm just saying all those resources are consolidated into a small group of people. I think there is enough on this planet to take care of everybody.
Now, I have a question, Matt, that's kind of neither here nor there. On BitChute, how is this program listed? Because I'm trying to do a search so I can. How is this?
What do you mean? On where?
On BitChute. If I'm trying to watch it on BitChute.
It would be under MindDog TV, and it's all under MindDog TV, whether it's the Rev, whether it's this, whether it's my evening show. It's all under MindDog TV channel.
Because I'm having trouble finding it.
I can send you a link.
Live. Let's see. It's like it's listed under search videos, but I'm trying to find live.
There's a live stream button there. They don't. All right, it comes up. Are we live here? Oh, when I click on live, it shows from 3 days ago. Hold on a second.
I don't have a live button.
Oh, yeah, refused to connect. Video app. So we're not on BitChute this morning. You know what? One of the things that I'm noticing with BitChute.
Yeah.
When I signed up, they asked for my YouTube channel. And so when we have been streaming live to BitChute, which apparently we're not right now. Yeah. Let me see if I go to MindDog TV. Live. Oh, yeah. Live most boring show ever. And if I click on this. Yeah, here it is. I'm going to send you this link. So we are live on BitChute. But what's going to happen is they will archive this as a live stream.
Mm-hmm.
And then they will draw it in from YouTube, and the same show will be there twice. And they're dividing the viewership between both. So we have the live stream, which gets archived there, and they pull the live stream from YouTube after it's up. And so there's 2 videos on there, exactly the same, and they're splitting the viewers over. I just in the Dog Pound chat there, I sent you the link to where it's live right now.
Yeah, just
no raves, no rants. Are we getting a rant? According to this, there's only 4 people watching this live stream.
5 now.
Right now. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so yeah, BitChute. I need to kind of go back and delete one of the versions of this every single day. It's been like a hack. Why can't they just do it like normal people do? Like Rumble, they don't pull a second version of the same show and then split it. 'Cause I'm trying to figure out numbers and stuff. Not that it's all that important.
Right. I'm trying to see where the
You know what I can't figure out? Like when I
what?
go out, like on a late on Saturday night, like very late Saturday night, I'm setting up the bucket on Rumble for church, Church of Last Resort, and then I go there, and immediately I get to the homepage, and like Tim Pool is streaming live, and it says he's got 70,000 live viewers watching it. 70,000 people up late at night on Rumble to watch Tim Pool talk. It doesn't make any sense to me in any way. It's like, come on, that can't be real. Is he buying bots to just kind of spin those numbers around? I mean, who the hell is getting up or staying up late on a Saturday night, going to Rumble of all places, and then settling in on Tim Pool, just talking? I know my hat is getting sweaty. My bald head. I'm not really bald. I have a black hat on. Whatever.
I'm trying to send Steven a link. I think he wants to hop on for the last few minutes.
Really, Steven wants to hop on, does he? I didn't think he could hop at all. That's good. He's improving. His health is improving. His situation is improving. Yeah. I thought you were planning on having him come in on Wednesday. What is he, off Wednesday or something? He's welcome.
I wasn't planning on it. I think he was planning on it.
I thought he's still. I could have sworn he's still in the team members and still has a seat. I haven't given up the seat.
Steven, I sent you the link to your. I responded to your comment. Y'all got room with the link if you want to come in.
Yeah, I see that. I don't know. How's things going for Steven? Do you know?
No, I stopped caring a long time ago.
Have you talked to Ron about his mom's situation?
Not recently. Not since the last update where he said just she still had her sense of humor. I think Ron is like busy performing. I don't think he has time to worry about his mom right now.
What is Becky saying here about these people are being paid or pay-per-view as no one listens to Tim Pool anymore, and he's still pushed on the other paying for viewers or bots. That's paying for bots, right? Not actually, but it's just weird. Like, what happens if I go to Rumble's homepage right now? I'm just going to see. I'll see somebody there who's got like a massive numbers streaming live, and all they're doing is talking the same stupid shit. Here, right now on Rumble on their homepage, who is this even? It doesn't even say whoever. Oh, it's Crowder. According to this, he's got 34,857 people watching him live right now.
Okay.
Steven Crowder. I'm not believing that. Bots? Is that? I know he. That's part of why he got kicked off of YouTube. Was his father was buying his viewers for him, like his viewership. But that's a lot of money. If you got even if it's like $1 a piece, whatever. What is the going rate? However, even if it's a penny a piece, even 35,000 would be $3,500, right? If it were a penny a piece for those bots.
Yeah. Now, if he's, I'm just trying to think. I don't know how they get paid, but if he has like a contract or something and it's worth so much money, it would be worth it to them to spend the $3,500 to get the bots. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah, and all our viewers it seems like everybody on Rumble is a viewer. Like we're getting some traffic there, not like major traffic, like 150 people per day, but almost all of them, when they comment, are leaving these selling bot things. Is everybody on Rumble a fucking robot? And what's the point of having a platform that is entirely made up of robots? It doesn't make any fucking sense to me at all. What did Church do yesterday over there?
I think he said 33 viewers or something.
According to this, it says raw views 24, unique viewers 17. So somebody goes back there more than once, like they go and they come back. That's why.
Or is this what the YouTube and BitChute overlap is?
Yeah. No, this is just Rumble. This is
Rumble. Okay.
This is just Rumble. They have raw views and unique views.
Okay.
But I think all of it's a lie. All of it's a fucking lie. Like, give up. If you can't, nobody's going there to actually watch content. Just drop the fucking thing. There's a black screen named Stephen Ortiz in the background. You want to talk to this black screen? Let's say hello to a black screen.
Look, if you're gonna come, don't bring the noise.
Yeah. What the hell was that?
That's him.
That's bad, Mike. What the hell? You want to smack him?
It's the shirt. The shirt is so loud, it's giving feedback.
And now he's froze up. What are you laughing at, you smiley fuck?
I can hear you.
He's sitting in front of an X-ray.
Yeah, what are you doing?
He's sitting in front of a pelvis X-ray, and it looks like there's a hammer stuck in it.
I thought you worked in a bank. You work in a doctor's office? What the fuck is going on?
No, I'm in a bank on lunch.
All right. And
hanging out, man. I missed you guys.
Well, did you bring something to the table? Do you have an opinion to share here? Do you want to talk about anything, or you just came to look at us and say, I need to jerk off because Matt Napa was so sexy?
Matt Napa is very sexy, and I'm here because I'm excited for the arrival of the aliens.
Oh, I thought you were excited because I saw Crack the Sky yesterday.
Let me talk to you about this now, Stephen. I know, and we're on delay, so you're hearing me like 5 minutes from now. But last week, Trump was asked about the drones, and he said, quote, "I wish I could tell you it's not up to me, but," and then he went on to something else. And I thought, well, who's running the program? Is it the auto pen? Who gets to fucking talk about this drones? Now, the CIA was saying they know about it, but can't release the information. Like, why? If somebody asked if it were FAA knew who this was, why can't they release the information? And they said, well, by the time the FAA got there, the drones were gone. Now, I know for a fact, and I know this is a very long way of asking this question, but I know for a fact that if I put up a drone without a license in this area, the FAA is on it like fucking flies on shit really quick. I can't imagine gigantic drones flying over New Jersey and the FAA taking too long to get there. They were there for fucking months. With all that said, what do you think why is still the cover-up? What do you think it is? Or were? What do you think it was?
Man, I don't know. About a year ago, there were a few of the bigger names in the UFO world that said that there was going to be a lie coming about aliens, right? About a ship coming and ships being around. And I mean, in my brain, there's two reasons for a cover-up. Either A, they're scared something's here and there's something more coming, or B, it's just the government fucking around and they just want to cover it up.
Well, why again? Coming back to this idea, like why not just admit, yes, we're experimenting with some new stuff. It's not like the enemies can get if domestic people can't even get a good picture of this stuff. Enemies aren't going to say, "Whoa, that's what they're doing." They can't so. Why not just come out and say, "Yeah, we're trying out some new shit. Mind your own fucking business."
I don't know. That'd be a question for somebody in the intelligence community, because in my head, I'm in the same mindset. Like, what's the point of the cover up if we can't photograph these things domestically when they're floating in our backyards? What the hell is China going to do? Nothing. Yeah. So
and when Trump comes out and says, "I would like to tell you, but it's not up to me." Do you realize you're the fucking president? You know, do you look at your fucking the sign on your door? You know where you live? I mean, who is it up to say? Who's it up to?
You're listening to the wrong thing. What he's actually saying is, I don't know, and I'm not taking the time to find out.
That's what I think, and no, that was kind of the point I'm making. I'm like, he's clueless. He's clueless, and that's his fallback position. I know, but I just can't tell you. It's top secret. Not up to me.
Yep.
It is concerning, though. It is concerning that what the fuck were these things? People stopped talking about it. They went away just as mysteriously as they started showing up. New Jersey is not. If you wouldn't think, if somebody came from all the way across the universe, New Jersey would be the place.
I don't. That's.
Well, I would think so. See, that hear me out.
The pizza is you're gonna bring up the pizza?
No. It's the smell. It smells like their home planet. They're attracted by the smell. They're like sulfur,
garlic,
sulfur and death, and sulfur and resignation. And so
I think you're mixing up New Jersey with Staten Island. Staten Island is the thing that smells like fucking shit.
No, Jersey. If you come up 95 and you go through Jersey, you see these factories and you smell Jersey. Okay, and I think that's what the aliens are attracted by. They're attracted by that smell.
My question is, if their aliens are here,
they're not.
Why do you? Well, that's the thing. As much as I want there to be aliens here, I don't buy that they're going to fly across the universe and they're only going to come to the U.S. and maybe Great Britain. Like, they're not political allies. It doesn't make sense.
Well, Mexico has its fair, and Brazil has a fair amount.
They do, yes. But it seems like it's very much like one side of the planet, and but it seems like it's primarily the U.S. And it's just like, what, the aliens are coming across. They're immigrants as well. They're coming for a new life in the U.S. That doesn't make any sense.
No, they want to fucking bang Sydney Sweeney.
Well, that's okay.
I would too.
If they're going to come that way, if they're going to come all this way for that, they could pick better.
That's what I'm saying. I think
Sydney Sweeney, get off my phone, you fucking dick! I'm glad you got ass raped in prison. I'm sorry.
Yes.
That's just my fallback position.
That's my ringtone when I'm not at work.
I know. Oh, when you're out at work, it would be a little bit weird. What was that?
Your ringtone for who? Just when your phone rings, or if Matt calls you?
Just when my phone rings in general, and then when I get a text message, it says,
"Yeah." But now you said, as much as I want there, I think you said I want there to be aliens.
I would love there to be
here
on this planet in general. Sure.
You're assuming they're going to be nice?
No. So I want them to come end it all. Just keep me as a pet. Destroy the planet. I'm good.
You realize that not all pets are treated kindly, right?
I could be a pet. I can be a pocket. I could be a vibrator or a dildo. I could be. There's a lot of things.
You're assuming that they have orifices for that purpose.
Look, if they're not to kill me, they better fuck me.
So. This is how you're spending your lunch hour or half hour, whatever you get there. Now you're going to go back hungry because all you did was talk about aliens and vaginas. I mean, vibrators.
I think, first of all, I don't think, if you look at Steven, I don't think he's missed many meals. So I think he's taken care of. I think he's already eaten.
Wow, asshole.
What?
For the record, I'm down 10 more pounds from when I was last on the show, and I'm down a shirt size and 2 pant sizes.
Congratulations. I didn't say that you didn't lose weight. I said you haven't missed too many meals.
Right.
Both things can be true.
That's true. Okay, I'll give you that.
That's fair. He's doing Tai Chi. I'm doing Tai Chi.
Well, I'm drinking chai tea.
All right, then. So, Stephen, you're going to stick with this job, aren't you? You're never going back to comedy. You're going to be a banker for the rest of your life. You've given up on your dream, haven't you?
No, not at all.
You have.
No, his dream was to steal lots of money at the bank to fund his comedy club.
Yeah, you have. Clearly, you've given up on your dream. You're just going to count fucking singles for the rest of your life.
Steven,
that's your job, right?
Steven is working at the bank. Steven is working at the bank because he figures if he's an employee, they'll give him a discount on a loan, and then he can open his own club.
We really don't get discounts on loans. I checked, but
what?
No.
What's the employee discount for? What do you get for benefits if you don't get employee discounts on loans?
Free checks.
How many people are using checks? Did you use? Yeah. They're giving away something nobody uses. You know, I mean, if you worked at a grocery store, you get like a discount on food, I think. If you work at an electronics store, you get a discount on electronics. You're a bank. You should get discounted loans because that's how they make their money.
When I worked at Verizon, I didn't get a discount on the hardware either. I got a discount on the plan, but not the phones or anything.
Well, okay, but but you can still use the plan. People use the plans.
That's true.
You know, how many people are using checkbooks?
Now, Steven, I don't know if you
other than me and my wife. I think we're the last two.
I live in Amish country. The Amish love checks.
Oh.
But they're not racist anyway. They like the Poles. They like the Russians.
South Bend, Indiana. Most people don't equate that with Amish country. But that aside, you are the resident knowledgeable person here about Kill Tony. Mark Maron this weekend was going off on. I think he lumped Tony Hinchcliffe in with this whole fucking anti-woke comedic tribe. But the pushback was that Kill Tony has gone out of its way to feature people with disabilities, people in wheelchairs, and this kind of thing, that they exclusively go out of their way to push. Is this true, or is this just Bobby Lee or Andrew Santino's perception of Kill Tony? Every show has to include at least one disabled person.
Well, so I'd be lying if I said I don't. I'd be lying if I said I don't think Tony Hinchcliffe has a soft spot for disabled people. He does. But that doesn't
just because he's disabled, right?
Well, he's gay. That's close. But but look, he has a soft spot for disabled people. That being said, there have been disabled people on there that were not funny that he did not give the same attention to. So that being said, some of the golden ticket winners or their regulars are disabled. So, but that being said, I mean, that would be no different than him saying, oh, they have to feature a black comic or they have to feature.
Well, that was my thing. Like, this thing is a bucket pull, and it seemed to suggest that the bucket pull is rigged somehow.
What if they have two buckets?
Well, here's the thing,
a bucket for handicapped people and a bucket for the masses.
So however they fix it, they definitely
they have so it's still a bucket pull. It's just this bucket, we know we're getting handicapped people or people that we like. And
well, here's the thing. I don't know if they I don't know if you show up and they see you're disabled if they guarantee you a spot or not.
But they put you in a handicap bucket.
But if that's the case, I mean, cool. The thing is knowing that there are so many clubs across the nation that disabled people can't get into. I think it's kind of shitty to be upset that this big public platform does give disabled comics a chance.
No upsetness about it. I'm thinking use it to your advantage, knowing that that's a situation. I mean, I frown on Willie fucking chasing this guy around the country, but that's because I think he's going on like a lottery ticket, like you're chasing a lottery ticket around. With you, in your case, if the odds are increased, it makes sense for you to go down to Austin and
I agree. I agree, and I plan on.
So when are you going? When are you planning on going to Austin?
I plan on going either in the spring or fall of next year. I get 2 weeks of vacation after 3 months. So
give me notice. I may go down with you, or at least show up at the same time. I'm not saying like go with you because you're in Indiana and I'm in Maryland. But,
I'd be so down to go. Like I said, I get 2 weeks of vacation, so
I would show up with you, and I would wear a vest that says "Emotional Support Negro."
Yeah. Becky says the show is terrible and she loves comedy. I know she's a huge comedy fan.
Well, so look, I'm here's where I am with Kill Tony, right? I think they give amazing opportunities to the people that deserve it. Most of the time, there's a few that I don't agree with. They give a really good chance for disabled comics. I love that. I will endorse that 100%. Do I think they still benefit on shitting on people and make money off like being mean? 1,000%.
Yeah.
But I think you have to accept that risk if you're wanting to benefit off of what they offered at the same time. So
yeah.
And it's no different than any club. I mean, you could, if you're a shitty comic and you go to an open mic, you might get just as much shit there as you do at Kill Tony. The only difference is one's on YouTube and one's not. But
Right.
either way, if you're a shitty comic, you have to expect that you might get it wherever you go. So I don't think it's fair to give Kill Tony just a kill shot and say, nah, it's shit because they're mean. You get that anywhere if you're shitty. I mean, it's just what it is.
Yeah, no, I was just questioning because the fact that Andrew Santino, or I think it was Andrew Santino, came out and said that it seems like they go out of their way. It's like I guess I should watch it once because because the people that come out of there are not disabled. The William Montgomerys and the Cam Paddock, whatever his name is.
If you look at all of the golden ticket winners, the regulars, I mean, if you don't, well, I guess we can count mentally disabled too.
Thank you. I
there's four. They have four. There's maybe four people that are disabled, including mental disabilities, and there's only one person in a wheelchair that's a regular.
Yeah.
The other people have like cerebral palsy or whatever else, and they can still walk on stage and limp or whatever. There's a blind guy that just won a golden ticket. He was fucking hilarious. But I mean, yeah, I can't agree that they don't prey on disabled people as entertainment. They just give the funny ones that have what it takes to be good a chance to do their thing. Because like I said, you go to many clubs in the nation, a disabled person can't get in there and do their thing. So,
did anybody see the clip I shared? I got it from Bear Love, I think. This clip where there's a guy on there who is acting a lot like Hedberg, and Tony Cliff says, Tony Hinchcliffe says, "Are you aware that you're doing a dead-on impersonation of Mitch Hedberg?" And the guy was claiming, like, no,
I didn't buy that for a second. No fucking way. The dude looked like him, sound like him, same cadence. The joke, if you would have written them jokes down and said that this is a Mitch Hedberg joke, I would have believed you 100%. Like everything he did was Mitch Hedberg 100%.
Well, I'm on the fence about that. I don't know if that guy was legitimately trying to do Hedberg or whether that's just his natural way of being. Like there are people who are like that.
So he pops up. He's been popping up a lot in my reels and on TikTok, and he even when he's just talking, he still has that rhythm and cadence and sound. So maybe it is who he is, but man, that's just it's to the point now where if you find Mitch Hedberg videos, you see people commenting in the comments, "Wow, the guy from Kill Tony did rip him off."
Like, rip him off. Yeah. Well, rip him off is kind of maybe just paying too much of a homage to him, but I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. But it definitely, I didn't get Mitch Hedberg from him right away. I got like I thought there was something wrong with the guy with the tongue in the cheek thing because that's not something Hedberg did.
No, that's not a Hedberg thing at all. No,
he was doing that like constantly, and that was distracting to me. I couldn't watch that. Anyway, it's just an interesting thing, and we'll see if that guy gets any more attention because of that. If he gets any, and ends up.
Thing is, Kill Tony, they do get people on there that are characters. You know, like a couple weeks ago, there was Tommy No Breaks. Very much felt and sounded like Andrew Dice Clay, but he didn't. But here's the thing, though, he didn't look like him. He didn't dress like him. That to me felt more like this is my personality, and I just give off kind of an Andrew Dice Clay vibe.
Yeah.
This other guy, man, if I was a betting man and I didn't watch the episode, I just saw his set, I would have been like, oh, he's a Mitch Hedberg impersonator, is what I guessed.
Yeah, that's what Hinchcliffe said to him. Are you aware that you're doing a dead-on Tony Hinchcliffe Mitch Hedberg impersonation? And I was like, I'm a big Hedberg fan, and I didn't get that, and I got to look again. Oh yeah, I see the similarities. The joke style, definitely. The
100%.
The one-liners and all that stuff. I just think a lot of people are quirky, and you can't expect a guy to change who he is because people are going to think I'm too much like Hedberg. If that's who he naturally is, to actually put a conscious effort into not being himself. I don't know. It's a fine line to be in, but it will be interesting. I think there will be a lot of resentment if that guy ends up starting to blow up and do well, and you start hearing about him headlining places.
That would be my fear of being that guy. Is are people going to hire me, or are they going to expect a Hedberg impression, or are they not going to hire me because they feel like I'm doing it? Like if I was him, at the very least, I'd change my look. Because I mean, the hair in the face. I mean, a lot of his movements were even Hedbergy, and I just feel like if he changed it up a little bit, maybe he'd get less comparison, and maybe it'd be better off for him. But ugh.
All right, fair enough. We got to end this program because GD gets mad if we go overtime.
I know he does, but hopefully, if you guys will have me,
well, it's not the overtime. It's stopping at like 11:34. Okay, so we need to stop at 11:30 or 11:45 or 12.
I'm not going to noon. By the way, Tony Walker is back today after a fucking month off. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, hopefully Wednesday you guys will have me back. I don't come into work till 12:30, so I'd be able to show up for the.
All right, come on Wednesday. We have nothing on, nobody booked on Wednesday. You're the guest. I still think you have your own access. I don't think I took the team membership away.
No, I logged in. I logged in the other day and I didn't have any access. It's empty.
Right. I thought there was a unanimous decision to get rid of you. I remember the vote.
As a matter
of fact, I remember voting twice.
How do you get to vote twice when your vote's only 3/5 of a vote?
Well, I actually stole your. You still had access at the time, so I was using your.
Okay.
So you voted against yourself.
Wow, Trump was right. The blacks are voting fraud.
Yeah, technically you voted to kick yourself off the show.
All right, we got to clean up this fucking city. Bring in the National Guard to get rid of these.
Yeah, and once you voted to kick yourself off the show, who am I to argue with you? You know what's best.
I got a new thing. When I say blacks, it has to have this blacks. Blacks. All right, I'm ending the program. All right, get out of my room.
Did I mention that I saw Crack the Sky?
Yes.
And I'm going to talk to their manager about getting him on the show.
Great.
Oh boy.
I mean, I did mention it, right?
But I'll take off that day because I have no question to ask about Crack the Sky. Is it true they actually cracked the sky? No.
Is that why it's so hot?
And we went the whole day without mentioning Comedy in the Creek on August 15th at 9 p.m. $10 ticket prices.
On the 15th, that's Friday.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck with that. Comedy in the Creek.
Yeah.
Steven's going to be leaving the bank early for that one. He's going to be driving all the way to the creek, wherever the fuck the creek is.
I am. I don't know if I'll be at that one in particular, but I'll be at the Jackie Martling show.
I like that when you I'll be at the
Yeah, thanks. I'll be at the Jackie Martling show.
Make sure you go to see Steven as a.
Okay, I have so many comments for this one, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to keep it clean.
Well, you can't come until you're close. So.
Actually, I'm thinking it even has to be closer than close. I think it has to be like a
little bit closer. You might kind of. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was being censored.
Yes, it is time for Steven to go back to the teller window and count singles and pennies. That's his job. I don't know if you know about that. And for me to go
turn on your radio?
Wake and bake. Yes, turn on my radio.
I
listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now.